Tight tussle for favouritism here between Jimmy Ricard and Shining Smile. Taking a look at this, Shining Smile now favourite, and I waited for that graphic to come up because every 2 seconds it keeps chopping and changing. So it is Shining Smile, $3.70.
Go on, and yet he's the outsider of this.
Yeah, dry track is what he's looking for as well. Here we go, the Vane Stakes.
They're ready, and away they go, and Hay Street jumped away well, with also Shining Smile and Shaggy makes a line of 3 in the early stages. Tycoon Star behind those horses. Jimmy Ricard next the inside, followed by Express Class and 3 lengths Son of Kirk. Shining Smile and Shaggy go together, 750 out. Shaggy has the advantage of the inside. Hay Street 3/4 of a length away, third from Tycoon Star. Jimmy Ricard next on the inside. Express Class is now 3 wide and has a train ride home, and a length and a half away to Son of Kirk as they slowed it up. Shaggy in front of Shining Smile at the 500 metres. Hay Street 3 wide. Jimmy Ricard behind them. Tycoon Star the centre, followed by Express Class and Son of Kirk coiled up at the end as they run the corner. Shaggy is the leader. 300 metres to go with Shining Smile as Shaggy drifts off there, bumps into Shining Smile. Here's Tycoon Star, and Jimmy Ricard got a lovely run on the inside. Tycoon Star at the 150 in front. Jimmy Ricard's trying to come at it, then Son of Kirk. It's going to be a big finish. Tycoon Star and Jimmy Ricard. Jimmy lifting. Jimmy Ricard has beaten Tycoon Star. Express Class up for third, I'd say, from Son of Kirk. Then Shining Smile, Hay Street and Shaggy.
What a win to the colt by him. Invincible Jimmy Ricard wins. Kieran Mars having a red letter day, a double at Caulfield, a winner at Doomben, but this one would mean so much. A $350,000 Magic Millions purchase. He wins a Group 3 today, and what's...
He is getting all the rewards now. What a performance, Em. Geez, he was headed, you're right, Katie, and he's fought back so
for the market between the two undefeated written Tycoon fillies. The punters have declared their hand, though, now. Signature Scent, clear favourite at $2.90. Scenic Point at $3.
Now, set to go and racing. Signature Scent away pretty well. The Playwright began fast over on the inside to lead the race after 100 metres. It's the Playwright from Signature Scent, and they were followed by Thanks Gorgeous. Next is Scenic Point on the inside for Riviera between fillies, and Semel Rouge on the outer, followed by Blue Hotel, Tisworthy Custom, and My Gladiola is last of all. Signature Scent with great toe at the 700 metres led the Playwright by a length, and Semel Rouge up to third out deeper. A length and a half, Thanks Gorgeous, Blue Hotel and Scenic Point sixth on the rails. Next in the races for Riviera, and they were followed by Tisworthy Custom, and My Gladiola is last of all. Signature Scent couldn't cross. The Playwright boots up underneath of her as they come around the corner. 300 metres to go. It's Signature Scent about a length the Playwright, then Thanks Gorgeous. Scenic Point over on the inside. Further back in the field, Custom and for Riviera. Signature Scent, 200 metres to go. Still a length the Playwright, Thanks Gorgeous for Riviera, and My Gladiola is storming home. Signature Scent at the 50. Riviera's flashing with My Gladiola for Riviera. Riviera's got up to win from My Gladiola. Thanks Gorgeous or Signature Scent for the minor end of the prize. Then the Playwright and Custom. Further back, Scenic Point, Tisworthy towards the end of the...
Oh, there's a boil over the Astern fillies. Ferruvia, who was beaten by Express Class last start. So that's midweek form, and Express Class came out and ran third in the Vane. It's better form than we thought. My Gladiola style.
run at the Sandown Hillside track last start, and then coming here today and winning a Group 3 at only her third start. Let's hear from Richard. 7 out of the 10 runners are already Group 1 winners, including these guys. Private Eye, of course, Pinstripe, Attrition, Here to Shock, Mira, Anisette, and Desert Lightning winning over there in New Zealand.
So many of these first up with deeper spring targets in mind. So this market, let's see where the money is, and it is with Evaporate and Private Eye. Both have been firm here. Private Eye into $3.20 and holding favouritism. Evaporate at $3.40. The stablemate Here to Shock at $6, and then we go
scratching, and Private Eye has been passed fit to start. So the field is locked away. Ready and away. Evaporate slow to begin, and Moira goes back to second last. Private Eye bounced away fast and goes to the lead from Desert Lightning and Here to Shock. They were followed by Yellow Sam, who got to fourth in a lovely place, one off the rails. Two further back, Attrition, Evaporate, Pinstriped, Anisette and Moira is last. So the leader is Private Eye as it liked off the back section, 1,000 metres to go. By a length to Here to Shock, 2 1/4 Desert Lightning, followed by Yellow Sam. A couple of lengths away, Attrition outside of Evaporate, who's sixth on the paint. A length and a half to Pinstriped, and they were followed by Anisette and Moira is last of all at the 800 metres. Private Eye uncontested by a length, 2 in second, Here to Shock. A length and a half Desert Lightning third, followed by Yellow Sam. A length and a half Evaporate, and they were followed by Attrition. Next in the field is Anisette trying to get away from the rails from Pinstriped, and last of all is Moira. Private Eye's had every chance coming up towards the home corner. 450 out. It's Private Eye from Here to Shock. Desert Lightning behind those horses. Then came Yellow Sam peeling deeper as they leave the fence. Attrition, Evaporate in the ruck, and back behind them Moira. Private Eye dashes up at the 250. It's in front of Here to Shock. Desert Lightning back to the inside, followed by Yellow Sam. Evaporate can't get a run, but it's still Private Eye. 100 metres to go. Dashes for home. It is home. Private Eye stacked them up and won the feature. Desert Lightning second, Here to Shock for third, then Evaporate or Moira. Then came Anisette. Back behind those horses, Pinstripe towards the end was Yellow Sam and Attrition.
Class is permanent, and that's what this guy is. He had a class edge on those, and he showed it with Nashville saying, I'll lead like I did in a Caulfield Cup with Elstrom, and I was on the best horse then, and I'm on the best horse today. Defeats Desert Lightning. A photo for third and fourth, mate.
Earlier, ran a huge race in a Stradbroke, was over the odds today, and has run a big race for second. Evaporate, the favourite, he just got caught in the rut, couldn't get clear going, but I do have my concerns with those earmuffs going forward. Yes, he settled, but maybe just a little bit too much in the end. There's plenty more.
A lot more pressure on him because he goes around a lot of races at, 10, 20 to 1. I mean, he's run placing in Stradbrokes and Everest at massive prices. But when you come to a race like this, there's a bit, as I say, a bit more pressure on him. But he delivers because he's such a good horse.
What's the key to him? His longevity. He's 8 years of age now, and he's still got a great lust for life.
Good genes. Are we allowed to say that?
Yeah, of course you are.
Good genes. You know. Yeah, that's what he's got.
Is he a nice horse to deal with?
He's
On to win the Rosebud.
Just some of the star winners of the Rosebud, the feature here at Rosehill Gardens today.
3% of the money invested here. Second best backed is Skyhook, who we saw playing up a little bit in the yard. He can be a bit full of himself. He's obviously pleased to be back at the races. He's got about 20% of the money here, $4.20 into $4. Then with 17%
100 metres and they're off, and Paladin left or right. Nashville Jack was sharp out together with Blitzberg going up to push it early. Paladin will get right behind them in third. Grand Prairie tucking in for cover in fourth. Skyhook gets back to park on the inside of Peleus. So Nashville Jack's going to lead with Blitzberg getting the position outside the front runner. Paladin stalks them third. Then Grand Prairie racing keenly. So Peleus out wide, and Skyhook pretty relaxed back at the rear of the field. Nashville Jack a narrow leader from Blitzberg, and Peleus, he's really taken hold of the rider there, charging up to third out wide. Then came Paladin, Grand Prairie, and Skyhook now easing into a 3-4 wide position, turning for home. Nashville Jack in front by a length to Blitzberg. Paladin goes back to the inside, scraping paint from Peleus, and now Skyhook letting down on the outside, and Grand Prairie going right through. They've all found their lanes here. Grand Prairie moved up. Skyhook the outside. They've beaten off Paladin. Skyhook a narrow leader from Grand Prairie. It's Skyhook a neck in front to Grand Prairie, and Skyhook giving weight away all around, and he's still too good. Skyhook by a neck on the line to Grand Prairie. They gap Paladin. They put a space on Nashville Jack as well. Blitzberg dropped out, and Peleus was too strong on the run and weakened out to finish last.
Well, they didn't lead on Skyhook. They couldn't, but he is quality because he's already a Group 3 winner and he adds the listed Rosebud to his name. There's going to be talk about what's happened with Graham.
Well, I am pretty taken back by Skyhook's win there, because I did think that he was the type of horse to go forward today, being not a lot of speed, but
It is the first of the Princess series for the 3-year-old fillies that we're going to see. And it's always interesting because we like to see as the 2-year-old.
Yeah, so our best back runner is our favourite, Agarwood. She's got about 38% overall and she's our 240 favourite. Just coming back in now, she got out to 260 after opening 230. Savvy Halley is the one that they've pushed for since opening. Went up 6 and is now at 350. Within the law has been 4 into
one on a Randwick heavy 10, which is really important, a big tick. She's had only a small time off Shadow Stakes.
Racing and Agarwood in the centre jump well, so did Savvy Halley the outside, and the 2 favourites are at it early, and within the law is poking through on the rails. Change My Address the outside, further back to Wooden Lass than Open Secret, Queen of Clubs, and Nullarbor Jane is the last one. Agarwood went up the inside to hold out Savvy Halley for the front. They're 2 lengths clear then from Change My Address, within the law a handy 4th. 2 after Wooden Lass from Open Secret, Queen of Clubs, and Nullarbor Jane is the last one. Agarwood and neck in front, 650 out from Savvy Halley. 2 after Within the Law from Change My Address, Open Secret back on the inside as Wooden Lass is out deeper. Further back to Queen of Clubs being roused along, and Nullarbor Jane is the last one. They round for home now on the Silver Shadow Stakes, and the unbeaten Agarwood a length and a half. 2 in front now to Savvy Halley. She's sticking on though. She's got gas in the tank. Within the Law on the inside is being hard ridden. It's Agarwood a narrow leader from Silver Halley on the outside, and Halley went past Agarwood there. Within the Law the last shot at them, but Savvy Halley a length in front. Within the Law is chipping away. Savvy Halley still in front, and Savvy Halley wins the Silver Shadow Stakes by 3/4. Within the Law second, a gap back to Queen of Clubs getting up to run third. Open Secret, Change My Address. Agarwood got a real stitch. Weakened right out from Wooden Lass and Nullarbor Jane.
Yeah, Agarwood got a reality check, didn't she, today? And it was in the form of Savvy Halley, who went up on the outside of her, worried her, and then sprinted away. Within the Law, run second. Queen of Clubs back, accelerated through the field to run third. A photo for 4th. Savvy Halley with all that elite form in the Riesling and the Baillieu and the Percy Sykes has relished the wet track today, Katie, and 1,200 metres was a tick.
Oh, brilliant.
This girl as well, Autumn Glow into the future, because she has a little X factor about her. Let's get the latest from the best jockey in the world.
Go to 104 starts that she's had. She's just been so dominant. The only query for me,
there is only one horse they want here, and it is Autumn Glow. She is our $1.50 favourite, best backed runner with over 70% of the money here invested. She's our best backed runner today. In fact, she got 230 on opening, and we have had quite a few notable deductions, but Cigar Flick at 650 on the...
And we're ready to go. Racing now, and High Dubai left well. Autumn Glow was beautifully into stride there in the middle. From Gangster Granny, and now Bonita Queen is showing fast acceleration, and Bonita Queen will head the lot of them off. Autumn Glow will sit behind Gangster Granny the outside, and High Dubai out wide. Further back to She's All Shenanigans. Over on the inside, Imposing from Cigar Flick, and Shahisha is the last one. At a controlled speed, Bonita Queen leads by a half to Gangster Granny. High Dubai third, 3 wide. A length further back to the hot favourite Autumn Glow. On the inside of She's All Shenanigans. Then came Imposing from Cigar Flick, and Shahisha is the last one. So Bonita Queen under a double grip, turning the corner at the 400. Leads the way by a length and a half to Gangster Granny off the bridle, then High Dubai. McDonald gets to work on Autumn Glow. He just needs a bit of galloping room here as Gangster Granny takes the lead. Autumn Glow pushes back to the inside. High Dubai the outer. Gangster Granny a length in front. Now Autumn Glow, she's starting to open up the shoulders, and here she comes. Autumn Glow went on past Gangster Granny, and Autumn Glow remains unbeaten. 5 out of 5, beating Gangster Granny, and High Dubai third. A gap to the rest. Shahisha, She's All Shenanigans, Imposing, Cigar Flick, and Bonita Queen.
A dead set jet. That's what she is, Autumn Glow. Whatever race that Chris finds for her, I'm convinced she's going to be good enough to win a Group 1. Zigged and zagged. James McDonald kept looking for the gaps. The gap would close. He went outside. He couldn't get outside. He went inside, and eventually he went past Gangster Granny, High Dubai, Shusha. Don't worry about them. She's in a different league, and it was soft in the end. Katie, this...
She's so special, this horse. She really is. She had to change her path because We saw her had to go back to the inside, which she just looked like Gangster Granny was not stopping. That's the scary thing. Gangster Granny looked like she was not stopping, and this horse was going 2 to her 1 and easy in the end. It doesn't get much better than this, and the build-up to this horse's next start, wherever that may be, is going to be incredible, Richo and Lizzie.
Yeah, she's very, very exciting. I think she's probably, apart from Via Sistina, one of the most exciting horses to step out this afternoon, and she's been able to deliver in spades. And as you mentioned, she was going 2 to their 1. But what is also going to be fascinating is what path they decide to plot moving forward, whether she is going to stick to the sprinting, whether she's going to stretch out in trip. That's going to be the...
They're ready for the running of the Wing Stakes, the first Group 1 of the season, and look at the contenders taking their place in this Weight for Age 7 furlong event. Gringotts, a George Ryder winner. Charwolf, a 2-time Group 1 winner for Joe Pride. Via Sistina, she is the queen of the turf. She will be champion horse of Australia next weekend. Light Infantryman.
Nice and relaxed. She's got the ready muffs on just to keep her nice and relaxed, as well as her 2 handlers. But she's been trialling up beautifully on the brack, and she's used to them, really firm. But Aliana, I give a really good chance to as well. I think she's pretty special, and this preparation.
So Via Sistina is just starting to ease a touch now. 220 out to 260. She's got about a third of the money invested on her here. Gringotts on the second line is at 5, just out from 480. Aliana is about our third best backed runner. She's been 750 into 6. Our second best backed runner here with 20% of the money is Charwolf, 850 into 750. Robusto has been 12 into 11, 9 about War Eternal, 26 Arapaho, and then 61 or more for the last few there. So
hopefully Via Sistina can get the job done.
Good luck. 120 for J-Mac if he's able to win. Here is the Wing Stakes.
Almost out to $3 here at post time. Gates are back, they're off and racing. Aliana was last out and Via Sistina was second last out. And Robusto's ridden for speed. Is going to lead comfortably early from Lindemann, and Full Count Felicia settles third. A clear third, 2 for the back to War Eternal. Then came Arapaho down on the rails, partnered by Gringotts the other. Light Infantryman's a bit keen deeper out as Via Sistina improves along the rails on the inside of Diamond Diesel. Aliana and Charwolf's going to settle back last of all, about 10 off the lead. So it's Robusto for Derby Racing. Derby looking for their second win in this race, out by 2 lengths. Lindemann in second, and Full Count Felicia didn't have a pop for the lead. Happy to be in a trailing position third. Then War Eternal from Arapaho. Gringotts and Light Infantryman Keen's going forward out off the track. Further back to Diamond Diesel. Via Sistina's back in the field. Charwolf is going forward. Lost a length at that point, and Aliana's hugging the rails as they come up to the home turn. Robusto's coming wide. Lindemann right up the inside. Lindemann hard fence. Robusto in the middle of the track. Now Via Sistina's got the big gap, and here she comes. Down the outside is Gringotts, and further back to Arapaho making ground. Via Sistina raced up now. Hits the lead. Aliana's racing home well on the inside. Via Sistina in front from Aliana. Via's got to dig. Via neck in front. Aliana's driving, but Via Sistina goes back to back in the Wing Stakes. Won it by a neck to Aliana. Arapaho a cracking third. Then came Charwolf. Further back to Gringotts. Then War Eternal, Lindemann, Robusto, Diamond Diesel, and Light Infantryman was too keen in the run and finished last.
A champion. It's as simple as that. She is a champion. If she ever needed a full stop on it, you got it today. Via Sistina with everything against her. 1,400 metres is short of her best trip. Heavy track's a huge query. She was back near last. She's steered by a genius who made his way through. She defied a Derby winning filly to run second. Arapaho runs third, if you don't mind the Sydney Cup winner. And Charwolf from last running fourth. So J-Mac gets within 9 of Ollie and Katie.
Obviously running first up on a heavy track and really trying their hearts out. Hopefully they pull up well, because I think they're in for some really big spring carnivals this time round, Richo. And she's going to break more records, no doubt about it.
What a champ, Lizzie.
Oh, she's an absolute star, and he just rode her like the best horse in the race. He saved ground. Aliana was excellent. We know she'll improve through the prep. Arapaho, tick. The big tick, though, has to be Chairwolf. He covered a lot of ground. I'd love to know his sectionals over the concluding stages. They would have been pretty...
9 Australian Group 1s for her now, and she has defied every challenge that was thrown her way today. I know she had to be really ridden out to get there, but what a superstar.
Yeah, she is. It's as simple as that, Emma. Yeah, having her ready first up, it's just great. Yeah, privileged to be part of a team that just worked tirelessly. Charlie and...
Aliana, can I quickly touch on her, because that was an enormous first ever appearance in Weight for Age company.
It was almost a Fox play moment, wasn't it? But she's going to get her time to shine, that's for sure. It was an awesome debut, so Denise and the star team will be very happy with her, so yeah.
Halfway and beyond in the Nunthorpe. Manukau on the right, Night Raider red cap. Asphora light blue sleeves coming up between them. Here's Frost at Dawn the grey. JM Jungle in the light green. Lady Aman and then Mumgira running on. But it's Asphora in front deep inside the furlong. Frost at Dawn is chasing hard. Ain't Nobody is flying late. But it's Asphora's day in the sun as she outsprints them to win the Nunthorpe. Asphora over Ain't Nobody. Frost at Dawn. Night Raider chasing them in. Rumstar, Saida Darren.
Towards the 4 there. So we go back here to the Valley, building up for the Carline Stakes, our feature today.
Better backed runners on the program today, into $2.70. Fair enough, I say. Barrakill, your next line at $3.10 has been supported late in the piece. Golden Boom just galloped past, looking $1 million.
Ready. Right clear. Stalls are back and racing. Oak Hill jumped away cleanly. Out wide on the course, Golden Boom began very speedily with also Midwest. They carve out a good tempo from New York Luster, followed by Barrakill, Mornington Glory, Dreams Ellen, 2 lengths Oak Hill. Midwest is the leader in the car line at the 700 metres, 3/4 of a length Golden Boom. New York Luster the outside of Barrakill. Dreams Ellen 3 wide is progressing around them. Mornington Glory second last, and Oak Hill's fired up last on the fence. So it's Midwest given more rain, 400 metres to go. The Speed Machine, 2 lengths Golden Boom, Dreams Ell. Barrakill next on the inside, followed by New York Luster. Mornington Glory dug up, and Oak Hill is held up at rear. So it's Midwest given a slap with the whip at the 200 metres from Golden Boom. Barrakill needs an out, switches back to the inside now. So it's Midwest. Barrakill up on the inside from Golden Boom. Barrakill up on the inside will win at the Valley again. Barrakill first, Midwest Golden Boom, then New York Luster, Oak Hill, Mornington Glory, last Dreams Ell.
Overcame so many issues pre-race, overcame being scratched and vetted out recently, and well done to Bennett Racing, well done to Leon, Troy and Will. That is a great training performance. Barrakill and a sweet ride from Ben Allen.
That was a cool ride. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He just rode patiently and he pricked his ears at the top of the straight, found plenty of clear running and just kicked away. That was really impressive.
With Ali Mosley for a market update for the up-and-coming Ali.
It's actually quite a tricky betting race, Em. So 60s is our 380 favourite. He was just easing, but they've tightened back in now. So he's sitting on the top line. He's actually not our best backed, though. There's been a good move here for Grand Prairie. 550 now into 440. Aerodrome has been 440 to 460. Our bet
now. Gates are back. They're off and racing. Pretty good line out overall. Crown the King off the inside. Jump well with Grand Prairie. Aerodrome's pretty handy going forward for Moyes out deep. And 60s is in the thick of the action as well. Providence jumped out of the gates towards the rear of the field, but improves on the browsers for Moyes taken back. And Tyreek will settle down last of all. So Crown the King on the inside will hold the front. From Aerodrome the outside. 60s goes to third, clear from Providence. Grand Prairie 2 lengths away, 2 for Moy. Racing on the outside of Tyreek. Pretty bunch field here, and Crown the King under double wraps. Leads here from the weight carrier of the field, Aerodrome. 60s up on the outside of Providence, then Grand Prairie in the white cap. For Moy wider out, and Tyreek on the fence last of all. Crown the King at the 450. A narrow leader from Aerodrome, 60s 3 out, followed by Providence looking for a bit of room. Grand Prairie's all cluttered up. For Moy has galloping room the outside, and Tyreek will need some luck. Crown the King inside the 300. Leads narrowly from Aerodrome, sticking to the task. There's a fall back in the field. Tyree, Crown the King, bursting through Grand Prairie, and Fermoy on the outside. Fermoy and Grand Prairie race to the front together. It's Grand Prairie and Fermoy. Grand Prairie did best. Grand Prairie won the up and coming narrowly from Fermoy, and Crown the King third. Aerodrome fourth, followed in by 60s Providence, and unfortunately going amiss Tariq when racing into restricted room at the 225. Rider Dylan Gibbons is down on the track inside the running rail as I speak.
We're going to have to take a deep breath after this because we've got a tragic situation happening with Tyreek, let's just put it like that. But there's going to be a steward's inquiry into that, I would have thought. There was too tight a riding there, 2 furlongs out from the finish. Grand Prairie where 2 furlongs out from the finish. Grand Prairie wins, but I think Tom Sherry's going to have to go into the steward's room and talk because I feel he was right in the ruck of that then. Fermoy has done a good job getting out of trouble. Mosley for a market for the all-important San Domenico, Ali.
And it's a very interesting market at that M, so we're keen to lay the favourite here, Raging Force, who was all the rage earlier in the week. So he was 230 this morning. Some really good early bets on him. He's out to 260 now. He's just clinging on as best backed. He's got about 30%, but Wadton has seen some support as well. He's got about 29% of the money at this stage at 280. Rivellino is our worst way home. He has 25% of the overall hold, so it's a really even spread here between these top three in the betting. 8 into $6 now. Devil Knight has been 10 into 9. King of Pop.
And we're ready to run. 7 to do battle here in the San Domenico Stakes. There's the light. There's the light. Racing, Rivellino a little bit sluggish out, and Tom Vegas will settle last. Raging Force began fast together with King of Pop the outside, and Bayvakt is out deep. Pushing up behind them now is Wotan on the inside of Devil Knight, and a gap to Rivellino on the inside of Tom Vegas. Zach Lloyd goes forward here on King of Pop. Hasn't crossed Raging Forces yet. Bayvakt is up on the outside. Devil Knight, Wotan get good runs camp behind the speed. 2 after Tom Vegas, and Rivellino ridden quietly back last on the rails. It's King of Pop with the head in front. Raging Force is not giving up the fence. Bayvakt on a 3-wide path. Devil Knight tracking up. Wotan right behind. Rivellino a right for luck on the inside. And Tom Vegas is still back last. Raging Force being tackled by Bayvakt on the outside. Up the inside is Wotan. They beat off King of Pop. 4 further back to Rivellino. Raging Force going strongly. 150 out. Trying hard on the inside is Wotan. Coming in on top of him, Raging Force, but Raging Force kicks away. He's been a force of nature during the winter, and that's 4 in a row. Raging Force a length and a half to Wotan, who should have finished closer. Bayvakt in third, followed by Rivellino warming up late. A gap to Devil Knight and a big gap to King of Pop, and Tom Vegas was last in.
Raging Force, the winter form, returns with success yet again. That's his 4th win on the trot and a stakes winner for the team at Derby Racing. Peter Snowden's had a good day.
Raced through the winter, had fitness on his side, and it was too good yesterday. How close do you think Woden would have got, Ollie, with this interference in the closing stages?
Look, I think he would have got pretty close. I don't know if he was going to beat him, but he never got a full chance to get his momentum and build in there. Just as he was, he got tightened up, and certainly a lot closer than the margin was. Be a bit forgiving of him there because he just never got full chance to get a bit of room and wind up. So, yeah, you definitely want to see him again.
I would have liked to have seen more from Devil Knight first up, you know, given he's a Blue Diamond winner sprint trip.
I noticed he was going really good just coming into the turn, and he just got a little bit of heels there. And right at the wrong time, it sort of interrupted his momentum and he shifted out and he never quite recovered of that. So I'd be a little bit forgiving of him first up as well.
A really good one.
Wait to find out which horse is going to add its name. Now, in terms of the market, this has been topsy-turvy. Jimmy Ricard at $3.70, I should say. Tycoon Star, a $4.50 chance, of course, was pretty good previous to this. Vinrock as well, unbeaten galloper, but potentially wants more ground and wants a little bit more fitness. And McGaw has done absolutely nothing wrong. Came from last to first at Pakenham on debut and blew them away. And then
is going to take out this year's edition of the McNeil.
Jockey of Jimmy Ricard settling. Ready, and and away they go. Jimmy Ricard away with them. High Vol began well, with also Tycoon Star and Magore out past the middle. So after the first 150 metres or so, it's Magore leading from driving through Best of the Best, and Jimmy Ricard got to sit behind them from Tycoon Star. Vinrock the outside of High Vol. Then came Express Class, who's 3 wide in the early stages. Son of Kirk is second last, and Duke Atreides last of all. 700 to go. It's Magore in front by a neck to Tycoon Star, and they're 2 lengths Best of the Best. Jimmy Ricard a couple of lengths away. Vinrock, 5th one off the fence outside of High Vol, who's niggled at Express Class, Son of Kirk, and Duke Atreides. So Magore and Tycoon Star really kept them moving, approaching the corner at the 400 metres. Jimmy Ricard's about to slice out 3 wide. Then Best of the Best, and behind those horses, Vinrock and High Vol, it's Tycoon Star and Magore together at the 250, but Jimmy Ricard is about a length off Tycoon Star below the 200 metres. Tycoon Star went for home from Magore and Jimmy Ricard, and Tycoon Star with sustained speed won the McNeil. About a length and 3/4 Magore and Jimmy Ricard. 4 lengths Vinrock, then Express Class, Son of Kirk, High Vol, Duke Atreides, and Best of the Best.
So much better second up, and the blinkers to the visors has done wonders for this guy, Lizzie. He was already a Group 3 winner. That's his second Group 3 on his CV. But that was that tough, tenacious win from a colt who could go on to big things.
Kept Magore, he wanted to roll a little bit, and there was quite genuine tempo in this as well. And you could see even Tycoon Star, he wanted to get going a little bit mid-race as well, and he ended up popping outside the lead, but it was a really on-speed dominated race this again. They're quite impressive, these first two colts, but I reckon both of them need to settle better if they're going towards a Coolmore. I think they both wanted to run through the bridle a bit there yesterday. I noticed they took the blinkers off and replaced it with a visor there yesterday with Tycoon Star. I'm not sure whether he really needs that headgear. He'll want to settle better down the straight over 1200 to be a strong chance in a Coolmore, I reckon.
Looking at the vein a couple of weeks ago, which Jimmy Ricard won, Tycoon Star sort of got into that interference with Shaggy and then wanted to run in a little bit, and probably fitness just found him out the last 100. Jimmy Ricard's had every chance to run him down. Tycoon Star's a fitter horse this time around, a bit better behaved, and he confirms that he is probably the better sprinter at this point. Magore, pre-race, he's got 2 strappers holding him. He's got his head arched over. He's got his neck down. He's jigging and jogging. He's ready to rock and roll, this horse. He's been gelded already, so there's not a lot you can do to calm him down. He's just a big ball of energy.
He still doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't know what he's doing, and I think that may be the challenge for him this spring. The good races come.
Big margins again from outside those top 3. Have you got a question on the depth of the quality of these 3-year-olds, Sharky, heading towards a race like the Coolmore?
Look, I do, and I think going back to the 2-year-old season, we were all waiting for the big dominant 2-year-old colt to come out and announce themselves. I think back of Jimmy Ricard yesterday, so there's some work to be done with a horse like Vinrock. We saw Woden in Sydney resuming yesterday. He was the big hype horse in New South Wales going into a Golden Slipper. He was okay. I think this group of now 3-year-old colts, I don't know if there's a real big dog there. I think they're all very even, and we might see them take...
For the mares, some really good mares engaged shortly, but Magic Time's your favourite here, $3.70. 3 times a winner fresh up, so flies fresh. We like that. Got a good record at the 1,200 metres as well. Pop Award on the second line of betting there. You can see a 5...
Simply going, the Cochrane stalls are back and they're away. Damasgro's on the inside, away fairly. Pop Award jumped well with Miss Roombini, and not too far away from those mares. Another Profit, and also driving through along the inside is Stretton Angel, with also showing speed on the inside Gerringong. So Gerringong is going to lead from Stretton Angel, Pop Award, and then Manal, Gigi's Miss Truth and Miss Roombini. Another Profit's about 4 or 5 off the lead, a length and a half away of Bounding. Then came Road to Arataki, Dollar Shot, and behind those horses Magic Time, Tireless, and Damasgro's is a clear last. Gerringong the leader, 500 metres to go from Stretton Angel. Pop Award 3 wide. Miss Roombini a length and a half away, 4 wide. Gigi's Miss Truth next. Manal next on the rails, and another Profit. Road to Arataki and a Bounding. Gerringong joined by Stretton Angel at the top of the running. It's Gerringong and Stretton Angel. Pop Award, Miss Roombini off those as Miss Roombini starts to join in. Manal behind behind those. And Magic Time right down the outside. Gerringong's kicking. Miss Roombini. Magic Time followed by a bounding Magic Time. Stopped up at one. It's her time. Magic Time from Miss Roombini. A bounding third, and there's an eye catcher. Damask Rose from Gerringong, who kept fighting, then wrote to Arataki, Pop Award Manal. Another Profit next, then Dollar Shot, Stretton Angel, GG's, Miss Truth and Tylus.
She had the highest rating in the field, did Magic Time, a multiple Group 1 winner. And Graham begged during the week saying there's plenty more to come. That is scary when we consider the big targets that she might have in sight, Lizzie.
Yeah, great first up run, wasn't it? And she was able to be ridden with absolute ease by Mickey D. I thought that Miss Roombini was going to run the race of her life. She was working into it at the top of the straight, but she's just class.
And I think she heads towards the Rupert Clark next start, but she's going to be probably up at the top of the weights there, perhaps.
There might be a little twist because Graham Begg, she's won it before. They think she might get weighted out. Speaking to Sam Fairgrove from Yulong this morning, they said she wouldn't be out of place in a Everest. We'd like to have maybe another runner in an Everest. Keep her fresh, sprinting fresh, and maybe they'll be hawking her around as a potential slot holder for an Everest.
Do they have their own slot? I think they
Yeah, but Private Harry's already in the Yulong slot, and he returns next week. So, gee, she sprinted well here, Shark.
She did, yeah. She put my two-time Group 1 winner, you know, against the girls. She's just a beautiful horse to see at the races, and she drops them with her class. This can be a very good form race, the Cochrane, and I think this year's is no exception. Miss Roombini graduating up to this level shows she's up to it. A bounding, good to see Rob Heathcote back at Caulfield yesterday. Very confident that a bounding will really lift and go forward from this race. Maybe an Empire Rose on the cards for her later in the campaign. And Damask Rose back in the field, a little bit slow away. Has to come right around them to make her ground, but does so and comes home very strong. I think she dropped an 11.70 for the last 200, which would be very, very slick on the day.
She was Tempo and Delightful Bell and our Murder Jazz as well. First Shake Hamdan, we went to David and Peter, the mighty Miss Finland as well. And Craig Williams has been a big part of it.
For our Group 1, it is the Memsie down at Caulfield, the first Victorian Group 1 of the season over the 14.
Jacket on it, so there's a tick. It is an unbelievable Memsie Stakes. It's clearly the best we've seen since it became a Group 1 in 2013. A cavalcade of stars and so many stories.
But anyway, let's get stuck into the Memsie Stakes. Where to look? Another Will. Been pretty firm, this galloper. Got a very good record, of course. Last 3 times at 1,400 metres has been able to get the job done, including Group 1 level. Fangirl got a lethal finish on her, $4.80. Market is keen, and I think that's a good push for her. Treasure the Moment, another one where the market has kept her nice and safe. The 3-year-old filly, now a 4-year-old mare up against the Superstar, $6. Antino's been the hole in the market. You can see out to $7.50, probably speed map related. And Mr. Brightside, do you let Mr. B go around at $8? You're brave if you do, and he has got some of yours on him. Tom Kitten also out to a big price at $9. But another Will is the best backed runner here in the Memsie Stakes, $3.
Try just play on with the broken boot.
Oh, he's been scratched. Wow, Tom Kitten been scratched as we head to the Group 1 Memsie Stakes now.
We'll attempt to get the scratching set now. Racing in the Memsie. Treasure the Moment from barrier 1 jumped away well with another Will and also Mr. Brightside. Some speed early, out deep from Here to Shock and also Pinstripe, so almost 5 across the track. Is It Me behind those horses, and they were followed by Fangirl, 3 lengths Santino and Buckaroo. Pinstripe pouring it on off the track. Here to Shock the inside and Mr. Brightside between horses. The speed's pretty good to the railway side. 900 metres to go. 2 further back, another Will. Then came Treasure the Moment, Is It Me. Fangirl snookered the inside of Antino and Buckaroo is last. Pinstriped 800 metres to go with a clear lead, looking to go back to back. A length and 3/4 Here to Shock, and they're 3 lengths Mr. Brightside. Further back in the field, another Will. Antino's getting going. Treasure the Moment next the rail, 7 off the lead from Is It Me. Fangirl second last, Buckaroo at the end. Pinstripe the leader, 450 metres to go. 2 lengths in front of Here to Shock, who's trying to chase hard. Then came Mr. Brightside. Treasure the Moment, the insiders make making up ground, followed by Another Will up the middle from Antino and Fangirl. Here to shock up the pinstripe, but Treasure the Moment got the split at the 250. Mr. Brightside's trying to hunt her down, then Antino. Treasure the Moment, 150 metres to go, is 2 lengths in front of Mr. Brightside, the new Group 1 kid on the block. She's a star. Treasure the Moment from Mr. Brightside. Buckaroo, what a return third. Then Fangirl, Antino, Another Will. A gap in the field then to Here to Shock, Is It Me, and Pinstripe.
She is something special. That's her 4th Group 1. That's Matt Laurie's 7th. Damien Lane's 43rd Group 1. From an inside gate, they were just able to bide their time. There looked to be a few in front of them that were looking to keep Treasure the Moment, maybe stuck on the fence in a pocket, but she's just too brilliant, even over a shorter trip, Lizzie. We now wonder, she's won over the 14, she's won up to the 25. What is she? What is she going forward?
She's a weight for age Group 1 winner at 4 years old now, which makes her an absolute star. She's 9 wins in a row. The only horse you wanted to be on for the entire race was Treasure the Moment. You could see Damien Lane was just so comfortable in behind. I have to say, Katie, Mr. Brightside put up a hell of a performance. He was there to be beaten and he was able to tough it out to the line. It was just a new kid on the block, these new season 4-year-old mares that are just elite. They are scarily good. And she hits herself in that same bracket as Autumn Glow. We've yet to see Lady Shenandoah get back into the winner's stall or even be produced yet, but wow, what a performance from Treasure the Moment. Matt Laurie would be smiling from ear to ear.
With Treasure the Moment, that's her 10th career win today. She's only been beaten twice, and the ease of the victory just had to be seen to be believed today. 2.5 lengths she's beaten this field by. Great run from Mr. Brightside. Buckaroo gets up the run 3rd ahead of Fangirl. Another Will, rather plain in the run to the wire, but it's all about the winner. She is something out of this world. That was incredible. Wow.
What to you and Kate and the family. By gee, she's good. We all know that now.
That was such a pain-free watch. You could see she was just bolting, coming around the bend, and yeah, pretty teary, to be honest. It was incredible.
And that's because this girl means so much to you, because you would have felt the pressure building into this.
Yeah, of course. But, you know, I mean, to do what she's done and then to come back and blow away a high-class field over 7 furlongs, I mean, it's just, you know, what else is she going to do?
Yeah. What a credit to you. And
I love this. Have a look at the passion. Now, that is young Lockie cheering home Treasure the Moment. Matty Laurie going nuts as well. He's got a bit of spring, Lockie. He could be an AFL footballer in waiting, the way he's getting a bit of air there.
He was amazing, wasn't he? Yeah. Do something like Aliana did the week before, Ollie, against Via Sistina, just to say, yep, we're up to this class. Boy, did she what?
Yeah, you're not quite sure how they're going to make that transition from 3 to 4. It's not an easy one. A lot of them don't do it. But, you know, she's got it. She's just a winner. I mean, she's a picket fence she put together last prep, and, I mean, she's so versatile. She can put herself in a great position. Damien Lane's obviously got a lot of confidence in her, and they really clicked together and just had the perfect run there yesterday.
9 in a row. Ollie, talk us through this, because I don't think many people saw Pinstripe doing what he did early, and in the end it probably really set it up for Treasure the Moment, this early fast speed.
It did, yeah. The change of tactics really backfired with Pinstripe, with the blinkers on and a more aggressive ride, and, you know, I'm not sure where they thought they were going to get in if they went forward, but he sort of took control of the rider there, had to keep pushing on, set a lot more pace in the race than what was expected. Mr. Brightside was a great job up on top of a strong speed. I thought Another Will was a little disappointing, and you could see Treasure the Moment getting the perfect run there. Blake took off a little bit early on Antino again, but I think with the strong speed in the race, that didn't quite work out. And Fangirl, she never looked quite comfortable there yesterday, and then we got Buckaroo at the back there. He worked home really nicely.
Just on Antino, we've become used to him, I guess, getting rolling into races quite early, and we see him out and going early into this race. Do you think that's now the pattern that Blake's going to ride him to every time he races?
Well, I'm not sure it's going to work every race. Yeah. I reckon if they back it off mid-race, then it can really work. But if there's a genuine tempo the whole race, it's going to be hard for him to sustain that long run from the back.
Fangirl was the other interesting one, wasn't she? Whether she quite got around Caulfield, she sort of half caught up in a little bit of traffic, but nothing too drastic. I thought she was okay through the line, but there was probably more expectation of her perhaps finishing a bit closer to the winner, whatever the winner was going to be in the race, given her quality.
Yeah, look, I think a little bit of Caulfield, maybe a little bit of soft conditions. It wasn't super soft there yesterday, but I think she just never looked really comfortable, and even Mark Ray.
Now, if she wasn't to go to a Makybe Diva, maybe you're looking at an Underwood for Treasure at the moment. I don't know if she'll go to a Caulfield Cup. Is she maybe just too brilliant at the moment, racing too fast?
That seemed to be the comments from Matt post-race. Look how sharp she is, look how quick she is. You know, it wasn't... I think there was only one race in his mind after the race, and that's the Cox Plate. Doesn't it just set up beautifully if we get all these good horses, and they're all female at the moment too, with Via, Aliana, Treasure of the Moment, all landing in the Cox Plate, Ollie.
You'd like to see the best take on the best, and, you know, with the Sydney and Melbourne Carnival sort of competing with another, we've often seen them go different paths, but hopefully we get to see them race against each other this year. And her win there yesterday probably gave her another kilo or two for something like a Caulfield Cup as well, you know, so the weights aren't out yet.
Do you think she's better suited in a Caulfield Cup or a Cox Plate?
To me, she looks quite brilliant. You know, I think that mile to 2,000 looks a great distance for her, but she's just got so much class that she can stretch it out a little bit further as well.
Yeah, and a dual Oaks winner, she wouldn't be the first sharp 3-year-old to come back a little bit as they meet older horses at weight for age.
It's a pretty amazing training performance from Maddie Laurie to win 2 Oaks and to come back and win a Group 1 over 1,400 in blistering.
Starts to come in. Star power aplenty at Randwick, whether it be the Furious Stakes part of the Princess Series, the Tramway line.
1,200 metres, and traditionally that has been a very good guide, particularly for the Furious, because we stay at the... to see back at the races. She's a filly by Extreme Choice. She had that abscess. It took a lot of time to heal.
Really good late firm here for Savvy Halley, who's been 4 into 330, albeit she's not best backed. She's right there, though. She's got about 20% of the money. 310 as I say that. Oh, my goodness. With into 420, and then with 25% as well is Apocalyptic, 460. Just a touch soft late here to 480. $10 a barrel.
Gates are back. They're off and racing. She jumped well, Savvy Halley. So did Stardom in the centre of the pack going forward. So the 2 leaders are right up there in the early part. And coming across wide out is Wooten Lash, showing great speed. And is going to race to the front from Stardom, Savvy Halley. Agerwood not bidding for the lead. Parks in 4th on the outside of Kujenga. And then Apocalyptic improving on the rails. 2 lengths further back to Open Secret. Then came Memo on the rails. Karinska deeper out in the wide cap. Followed by Next Gen. Tupakara got in from the wide draw from Spicy Lure. And within the law is the last one, 10 off the lead. It's Wooden Lass, a narrow leader. From on the outside, Stardom, and then came Agerwood. Savvy Halley locked up on the inside of Kujenga. Further back to Open Secret. Apocalyptic back on the rails into the straight now. And Agerwood and Stardom move up. Savvy Halley's got an inside runner. Scraping paint, but she's going after the leaders. Further back to Kujenga running on. 3 of them across the track. Savvy Halley moved up. Savvy Halley puts the head in front from Agerwood. Here's Tupakara, Kujenga, and flashing home Apocalyptic in the middle. Apocalyptic went home best, won the Furious Stakes just from Tupakara the outside. Savvy Halley 3rd. Then Kujenga, and within the law, rattling home at the end. Karinska warmed up. Further back, Spicy Lou from Next Gen. Then came Open Secret from Memo Star. Apocalyptic.
We got here. She's a rocket. She's a jet. Second start, and she wins the Group 2 Furious Stakes over the 1,200 metres. She looked to hit a flat spot a couple of furlongs. Big run, though, was Tupakara on the outside. You've got to watch her going forward as she gets to the 7 and 8 furlongs in time. But Lizzie, this filly by Extreme Choice, I tell you what, she is something special.
Yeah, she's always showed absolute talent, and she should have won her first
1,000 guineas market. And the winner we haven't seen, Sharky, since last December, and it's going to be interesting, the form that comes through the major 2-year-old races compared to the form that's coming through those off, I suppose, peak races.
Yeah.
Who is going to be the best 3-year-old in the spring? The winner was good. I love the runner-up here too, though.
Runner-up was very good. Apocalyptic for the My Racehorse team, the majority owners in this horse. She's going to be very well backed, I think, in whatever race she goes to by virtue of the size of her ownership group. But at Tupakara, I don't think Apocalyptic, as they stretch out and go further in trip, I don't think they're going to be able to hold that horse off. You know, she was so good through the Champagne and everything else as a 2-year-old, always finding the line.
Here, which is the Chelmsford Stakes over the 1,600 metres, a weight for age Group 2 contest. A Arapaho.
To see our best backed runner for the whole program. It is Chaya Wolf, opened even money this morning, now into $1.75 and has over 70% of the overall money invested here. Was as short as $1.65 this morning, so it's been a huge go for the Joe Pride trained galloper. So Delius on Doe, Vauban has been 11 to 16, 23 about Land Legend, 26 Birdman, and then 61 or more the
Racing. Chaya Wolf only jumped fairly there from gate 2. Lindemann and Robusto the first two out. Full Count Felicia lobs in third. Vauban going forward on the outside of Arapaho. They're followed further back then by Chaya Wolf improving. Sir Delius out wide's got some work to do to get a more forward position. Just easing back a little bit, Birdman to about a midfield spot. They're followed by Adelaide River, then Camatha Baskin, and a gap to Land Legend on the outside of Wet Horse. And Nash takes the lead on Lindemann, out by 2 lengths on Robusto, followed by Full Count Felicia. Sir Delius doing some work up on the outside. Vauban took a sit behind them. Then Arapaho plonked down on the rails on the inside of the short favourite Chaya Wolf. So Chaya Wolf's about 5 lengths off the lead at the 800 metres. They're followed then by Adelaide River in the running line. On the outside of Birdman, a couple off to Land Legend from Athabaskan and 2.5 lengths back to Wether at the rear. 600 to go. Lindemann rolling. Lindemann a length in front of Robusto. Then Full Count Felicia. Sir Delius gets to an outright fourth. Now Vauban being scrubbed up from Arapaho, and Chaya Wolf is peeling 3 and 4 wide, 6 off the lead. Up the running down. Lindemann shows the way by 2 lengths on Robusto, is flat out. Then Sir Delius. Boy, Chaya Wolf's got some chasing to do. He's still 6 off them. Lindemann's giving a terrific sight in the lead. Inside the 200, Lindemann 2 in front of Sir Delius is giving good chase now. Lindemann and Sir Delius. Lindemann trying to cling on just. Lindemann a half head on the line to Sir Delius, getting closest at the end. Vauban hitting top gear late into third. Chaya Wolf, well, he couldn't pick up the ground today. Then Bourbon flashing home, and Arapaho as well. Further back to Adelaide River, Land Legend, Robusto, Full Count Felicia, Athabaskan finishing well back at the end, and Wethor was one of the last in.
Huge improver was Lindemann right there on speed, controlled things from the get-go. Did Nash Rawiller. That is a big win. Of course, second up, Sir Delius was huge over the mile, as was Vauban. Chaya Wolf, he was very good. Midfield, he did settle a little closer.
Verdict I'm a little bit nervous about, because Carl Diorio gave Lindemann a massive push. I basically laughed at him and said there is no way it will be beating Chaya Wolf, who, Shark, I must say, I was really disappointed with Chaya Wolf yesterday.
Me too. I know he covered a little bit of ground, but in the context of the race, he's running against stayers and middle distance horses first and second up. He couldn't get past
Vauban.
You know, he's supposed to be a horse that we're looking at King Charles and that sort of high level. While we know the capability that Chaya Wolf has, second up was a bit plain for me. And that's factoring in the price, the expectation, everything else. I expected him to thump the line a bit better than he did. The winner, super tough. And as Carl said, the horse does go well second up, so kudos to him. I hope he backed him. Vauban's on track, I think, for a Caulfield Cup. To me, that looks like his perfect race. And I like the fact that he's able to take more of a position. You know, we see horses win Caulfield Cups in the first third of the field very often. Vauban getting back in the field and looking to slingshot home, I don't think was a great recipe for success, but we might see a more positive ride pattern from him on the pathway to that race. Sir Delius was huge. Well, he's right there for whatever they want to put him in, Melbourne Cup, Caulfield Cup, Metrop. I'm not sure of the pathway that he's going to take towards the Melbourne Cup, but he's something to beat. Look at him through the line, just gobbling them up.
Well, he's got to be top seed at the moment. I know this is very early, but for a horse like him, we've only seen him once before, and he looked very impressive winning the Chairman's. They paid a huge amount of money for him, but that's what gain age, speed into their legs, and he, I think, is a rightful favourite for the Caulfield Cup now.
Covered a bit of Group 1's next to her name. Can she sprint over the 1,000 metres fresh?
Well, she's got a...
Hard touch easy during the week, but the money started to swing back now to Lady Shenandoah, who's been 260 into 230, and she's got about 45% overall. So they've just backed her late here. There's also been support for Headwall, who went up 6, was 480 this morning, now into 440. Jimmy Star, easy late now, 5 out to 6. Then we have 950 about in flight. Generosity has been 11 out to 21 out the gate, 20 and Spring Lee, and then a striker heads the rest of them 26 or more. And there's not a great deal else to report in terms.
We're ready to run. Racing, the favourite Lady Shenandoah's jumped all right off the inside, in flight into strikers showing speed. Mornington Glory's going fast, together with Dragonstone, and Hard to Say's right up there as well. This is a good go for the lead in the early part with a striker and Morning Glory from Hard to Say. They're the two. Dragonstone third, a striker now fourth. They're followed by In Flight. New York last, a deeper out from Spring Lee. Lady Shenandoah's about 6 last on the rails from Headwall. Further back to Generosity, Jimmy Star and Tiger Shark into the straight. Mornington Glory swings in front from Hard to Say. Dragonstone the outside. In Flight the inside from a striker Spring Lee. Lady Shenandoah's got plenty of traffic in front. Meantime, Headwall is stoked up, coming with a big run down the outside. A striker races to the lead. Headwall's claiming it. Lady Shenandoah's into the clear now. It's Headwall getting in front. Lady Shenandoah's charging home. Headwall made a statement, scraped in Headwall. Won the Concord, a half head on the line to Lady Shenandoah. Big run there. A striker third, Jimmy Star flashing home, then Tiger Shark. Further back to Spring Lee, In Flight, Dragonstone, Generosity.
Huge effort. There was a lot of hustle and bustle, plenty of speed, as you would anticipate over the 1,000 metres, but horses for courses and trips, and that's exactly what Headwall was today. That is a super steer from Zach Lloyd, but what about Lady Shenandoah? She was held up with nowhere to go and finally got out and exploded late. She's on an Everest path, no doubting that. She's got sprint in her legs. But Matt Smith would absolutely be delighted with that performance. Your nervousness has...
12 with the toppy, Jimmy Star, an eye catcher as well, and Spring Lee without a lot of luck. Lady Shenandoah stalled.
Look, I'm so happy that this horse Headwall finally got a win, but there is no doubt if you are out there and you backed Lady Shenandoah yesterday, just look away now because, oh my gosh, that was a tough watch.
Yeah, she needed some clearer air sooner than she got it, but Headwall had the momentum, he was up and going. Reward for effort with this horse. How good for Matt Smith, Melissa Smith, the Youngs who bred the horse by Dream Ahead.
Yep.
Owners have bred him. It's the dream. You know, you breed a very good...
Really good people.
Well, he probably should have won an Oakley Plate. He was very unlucky in a few races.
With a little bit more luck too, the horse in the blue and the black, who finishes about 4th last, Generosity, a new addition to the Waller camp, having been bought by B2B over from Perth. He might have had 2 in the finish because she had absolutely no luck, was basically on heels the whole way up the straight. So keep an eye on her. New York Luster, Jimmy Star was great too.
Yeah, Jimmy's, I think, on track. He's not a 1,000-metre horse.
No, he was excellent. If they...
Cracker, and I'm keen to see Private Eye again.
Yeah, for sure, Richo. Those
Yes, affair with Private Eye here. He's been unwanted all week, and now he's been backed off the map late with 45% of the money. 320 into 220. Swift Falcon on the second line is at 550 and has stayed relatively solid. Linebacker just out now 6 to 650. Pericles is at 11, out from 8. With Your Blessing at 21. Militarise. Open 26 was 17 this morning, now 23. To Sit with Willie Do It, who opened 13. Port Lockroy heads the rest of them 34. But it's absolutely one-way traffic now for Private Eye, our 220.
Does so now on the tramway. They're off and racing, and Private Eye anticipated the start brilliantly. With Your Blessings right there. Pericles there as well. Linebacker jumped okay, but being restrained as Port Lockroy's trying to improve its position in the early part, followed by War Eternal down in the rails, and Linebacker is now looking to slip in just behind the leading bunch of the field. Further back then to Osapenko early. Now Militarise is covering a bit of ground in the early part. They're followed further back then by Depth of Character. Depth of Character's well back in the second half of the field. Swift Falcon's back there with it, followed by Waterford, Willie Do It. Kovalika, and the horse tailed off is Territory Express. Private Eye leads at the 600 from With Your Blessing the outside. Then Pericles, and Linebacker is rolling forward on the outside. He couldn't drop in. Then came War Eternal from Port Lockroy. Osipenko, Militarise, and Swift Falcons all boxed up between runners as they straighten up. Private Eye's a narrow leader from With Your Blessing, breathing down its neck. Then came Linebacker. Pericles has had a good run behind and presents to challenge. Just in front, Private Eye, but now Pericles moved up with Your Blessing in the middle. It's Pericles coming down the middle part of the track, and Pericles, having his first run for Beyond Baker, draws away for a big win in the tramway. Private Eye fought on gamely into second. With Your Blessing third, then Osipenko. Will he do it? Running home stoutly together with Swift Falcon, and Militarise the outside. They've all hit the line well. With Your Blessing getting tired from War Eternal. Further back, Depth of Character from Linebacker, Kovalika, Alma Beer, then Coleman. Good gap back to Port Lockroy, Waterford, and Territory Express was a bad boy again today. He was tailed off after the bad start.
That was a sweet Josh Parr ride. He got him in the perfect position, one off the fence, one pair back, and just bided his time. This horse is flying. If you'd listened to the stable during the week, the $10.
He was brilliant, wasn't he? And as you just mentioned, it was a beautiful ride from Josh Parr, saved all the ground. Private Eye put up a good performance, but I just think that
Godolphin or James Cummings trained horses still with Godolphin. Their first up record, if you're just backing them first up with other stables, you're a mile in front. Pericles was outstanding.
Absolutely. Pericles was fantastic here and winning. Private Eye, he was brave. Brave in defeat, I would say. Some really good runs back in the field. Militarise didn't have a lot of luck, covered a bit of ground. Swift Falcon inside him, both hit the line well. The horse that, I watched this replay a few times last night, that really caught my eye, particularly when they go through the line and beyond, Will He Do It?
Yep.
In those My Racehorse colours of red silks. Watch that replay again when you have a chance. He is so good. He just gets so much hell up. Here he is, nearly, I'd say, second last with the black cap and the red colours. He starts to sort of get into his gear here. He just runs into a bit of traffic, but through the line, he's so, so strong. I know they've done genetic testing and it suggests he's more of a mile type. I don't know, mile to 2,000 metres, I still think he could be pretty effective at 2.
So do you think because he won the New Zealand Derby, but we see a lot of 3-year-olds that can win these derbies just on pure class, but he's not a Caulfield Cup horse, you don't think? You think he's more middle distance?
Yeah, I don't know about Caulfield Cup, but I think 2,000 metres is where we might see this horse really shine.
Yep.
Wondering the past, Matty Nevitt. Let's have a look at the market.
This is where things really start to heat up now, Richo, with the Chautauqua Stakes and Angel Capital. Cannot wait to see the return of this guy in the Yulong colours, and he's getting in nice and short now as well. There's some late money coming through for him. He's into $2.05, so closing in on even money. All of the smart money.
1,200 and away they go, and Zeus Sensation missed the kick, a length and a half, and Angel Capital goes back to second last. Compelling Truth on the outside began quickly with Red Hot Nick and also Danny Darcy. Red Hot Nick's going to lead this race. Miraval Rose's fourth, the inner, followed by the Pendragon. Zeus Sensation after that poor start gets going, puts the hammer down 3 wide to improve, and Angel Capital on the fences at the tail of the field. To the side of the course now, 700 to go. Red Hot Nick in front, a length and a half. Compelling Truth, Zeus Sensation 3 deep, a length away Danny Darcy. Miraval Rose fifth the fence, 2 further back the Pendragon and Angel Capital snookered on the rails. Red Hot Nick 500 metres to go by a length and a quarter. Compelling Truth second. Zeus Sensation now just given a bit of a squeeze and gets closer from Miraval Rose. Angel Capital's tracking Zeus Sensation into the race and is about to peel 4 deep around the corner. 200 to go. Red Hot Nick joined by Zeus Sensation, but here's Angel Capital now, moves up, makes a line of 5 and runs on by at the 100. Angel Capital puts up 2 legs, 3 legs. He looked a picture. He's too good. Angel Capital bolts in. Compelling Truth or Miraval Rose for second. Then Red Hot Nick, Zeus Sensation, the Pendragon, and Danny Darcy.
He's a proper horse. We thought that. He's starting to showcase it now. And that was a sweet ride from Damien Lane. Go back to the 600 metres. So the halfway mark of that race, Damien Lane's back last on the rail. It's decision time for the one known as Frosty. And every decision he made after that, Lizzie, was perfect.
It certainly was. The mile before, he's a Group 2 winner over the 7 furlongs. Or Do they try and keep the real sprint in his legs and keep him over the 1,200?
Oh, gee, was good, wasn't he? There have been a lot of people discussing Angel Capital since he made a big splash on this day 12 months ago, and that was the most impressive we've seen him. He looked like the boy had become a man yesterday, Shark.
He did, didn't he, in the yard? And I think there was a lot of curiosity around how he'd present, and he's trialled up in Sydney, he's back in Melbourne. We have a look at him in the yard and he looks fit and strong, and he's a horse that's quite easy on the eye anyway when he parades. This was a great win. Interesting whether Yulong want to go the Manikato.
You can see why Yulong spent the money they did on him.
You helped him out yesterday. Zoo Sensation missed the start and then gave Angel Capital a pretty nice suck into the race. What happened at the start?
Not by choice, yeah. We had a man up, which we've never had before, and Jamie sort of said, I'm not sure why we did. And just had hold of his head to the side, and as he let him go, he overreacted and put his head right to the other side, and then he just missed it, which he's never usually done. So it was disappointing, and then he got flushed 3 wide. I thought he was okay. Just have to probably...
He's going to roll across and be one of the leaders to run down, that is for sure. It's an exciting race, so we're just easing slightly. Race 6, number 9, Rosberg on debut. Your market mover he will be with the weight of money that we're holding on the books. Rock solid space rider. We're not letting him go at all.
Signal given racing. Now, the favourite Rosberg was centre field away. Beskar fired out and is going to lead with Bakash, and they duel early. They're 2-length Space Rider and Rosberg fourth the inside. A couple of lengths Planet Red Estremo, followed well back in the field by Steel Knight, and at the tail of the field Stay Cosmic. So Bakash the leader, 800 metres to go, and then just tries to slacken it by 3/4 of a length Beskar. 1.5 lengths Rosberg's in the box seat, and Space Rider's fourth one off the fence. The Bolter pulls its way around them. Steel Knight, Estremo next, and they were followed by Planet Red and Stay Cosmic. You could throw a tissue over them, 500 metres to go, and the leader is Bakash by about a 1/2 length Beskar. They were followed by Space Rider, who's the first under pressure. Rosberg next the inside, needs an out. Estremo's keeping it in a pocket, followed by Steel Knight, Planet Red, Stay Cosmic. Bakash the leader from Beskar, point of the corner, 200 metres to go. It's Bakash 1.5 lengths to Beskar. Rosberg's got out, Stay Cosmic back to the inside. Bakash 100 metres to go. Now Rosberg's letting down Stay Cosmic the inside. Rosberg over the top on debut, makes a statement. Rosberg a half, Stay Cosmic, Bakash, Planet Red and Estremo behind them, followed by Beskar. Under pressure a long way from home was Space Rider and last Steel Knight.
He gets there on debut. It was audacious placement to say the least, and there was work to do for Jamie Mellum on straightening, but Rosberg has a bit of a margin on them in the end, and Clinton McDonald can start tracing the path between here and the ideal grand final of a Coolmore Stud Stakes. 9, 3, 2, a photo to come.
Yeah, that's a real feel-good moment for Clint McDonald and his team, particularly, I suppose, in the light of Angel Capital winning the previous formerly under his tutelage. But what a ride from James.
About Clinton most, and the punters love it too, is that he's happy to be open, honest and confident. Like, he declared this horse all week.
Yeah, he does. He puts his money where his mouth is, doesn't it? And look, this horse clearly has been showing a lot at the trials. It wasn't as if this was a surprise. I think most people thought it would go there and run right up to that sort of form. But, Troy, we spoke about Angel Capital and how good he looked around the Valley Canberra. Maybe gets the corner wrong here, the last little bit of the turn, Rosberg, but once he's balanced, that big, broad chest, that big, beautiful action just starts to flow, and he picks them up so quickly.
So impressive through the line, wasn't he? I was watching the Rosberg very closely, and when he came around the corner, he just wobbled that little bit, but soon as Jamie got him into clear air and got him balanced, geez, he looked like a real Guineas horse to me.
Now, in Ole Dancer, probably the best back late. So the market really starting to trend towards and identifying that Ole Dancer's the horse to beat from stablemate Alpha Sophie, who was the best backed when markets open, with the playwright blinkers on. So the top three
to go, and they're away. Angel Ladder sprung the gates hard on the outside, led early with the playwright, and that takes some doing. Expulsion got to third, Miss Celine behind them, followed by Southern Heiress. Dragging back Custom the outside of Alpha Sophie, followed by Farivia's Zany Girl. Towards the end, Ole Dancer. Salty Pearl is last, and they really string out. She'd be 15 at least off the leader. Angel Ladder with Great Toe. Sears the Turf at the 750. A length and a quarter the Playwright. They're 2 lengths Expulsion, Miss Celine, followed by Southern Heiress. A length and a quarter Alpha Sophie next on the rails. They were followed by Custom. A length and a quarter away Zany Girl. For Rivia third last. Salty Pearl is well back in the field. Ole Dancer with it all to do. Approaching the corner, 450 to go. Angel Ladder with the Playwright. Then came Expulsion, the outside, stoked up. 2 further back, Miss Celine getting away from the rails. Southern Heiress battles on, and Alpha Sophie's run right up behind them, hunting for a run. Angel Ladder in front. Alpha Sophie's going to drive right through. Salty Pearl follows her through. Alpha Sophie, 100 metres to go. Spears away, 2 lengths in front of Custom, Miss Celine. Alpha Sophie, great ride. Photo second. Custom, Salty Pearl, then Miss Celine. Back behind them, Ole Dancer. Further back for Rivia. In company then with Zany Girl, the Playwright, Expulsion, Southern Heiress and Angel Ladder.
Bump for you, Clint Hutchison made a really strong case for Alpha Sophie all the way in the lead-up. Moody Coleman had market elect in many respects. Ole Dancer, but off a pair of Eagle Farm 1,200-metre wins under the care of Jason Edwards, transferred to Peter Moody and Catherine Coleman's Pakenham base. And Zach Spain, a saloon passage in many respects to find that gap.
1,000 guineas contenders. Ole Dancer was the favourite, but drawn out wide in 15, had to go back. And a new addition to the stable from Queensland, Alpha Sophie. And I heard Moods talk. Now, Shark, from 1,000 guineas point of view...
Ole Dancer.
I was going to say, which one would you rather be taking?
She's the one. I suspect this might be... It was a really nice hit out if you like the horse for the 1,000 guineas. As far as the winner is concerned, who knows where the ceiling is? Some different, very different form lines to what we've seen from the Melbourne and Sydney horses. That was a soft win.
Yep.
Certainly nothing to say that...
Desert Lightning. Outside of that, Glinda Silver's the best backed roughie. He's to roll forward, probably lead Desert Lightning to sit off him. Some specking there for Rumbled again to get back into some form. But race 8, number 4, your market mover. What's gambling really costing you?
Second running of the race. The starter has the button in hand and they're racing. And Attrition was one of the best to begin with. Glint of Silver and Goldman not too far away. Desert Lightning and Moira. The starting to veer across together as they reach the bottom corner at the 1,250. Glint of Silver is the leader from Desert Lightning working around them. Attrition will get a nice run here. Third one off the fence outside of Goldman. They were followed by Moira, who just snicks back to be 5th one off the fence outside of Rumbled again from the Doctor of Love, Knight's Choice, Zardozi and Torrenzino at the back. 900 metres to go. Glint of Silver, who's been trimmed at odds by a length and a quarter. Desert Lightning. Goldman is 3rd and 4th in the race. Attrition. They run off the back section of the track. They were followed by Rumbled again. Moira is 3 back in the moving line, 1 off the fence in 6th place and 5 off the lead, and now about to hook out. Knight's Choice is next, and then came the Doctor of Love. Torrenzino as well back with Zardozi. Glint of Silver, 550 metres to go. Stacked them up somewhat from Desert Lightning. A length away in the field, Attrition. Then came Goldman under pressure. Moira hooks to the outside and comes on now. They were followed by Rumbled again, and behind those horses, the Doctor of Love. Desert Lightning went to the front, 250 metres to go. Moira's trying to chase him down, and they were followed by Glint of Silver. Attrition, the 2 favourites will fight it out halfway up the straight. Desert Lightning a neck in front. Moira's trying hard. Desert Lightning lifting. Moira a half away. Desert Lightning will win. Desert Lightning has won it from Moira. 2.5 Attrition, then Rumbled again, and Zardozi caught the eye. Behind those horses, Knight's Choice, a good pipe opener. The Doctor of Love, Torrenzino, Glint of Silver, last Goldman.
Race to race double for Peter Moody and Catherine Coleman. The Atlantic Jewel with Alpha Sophie, who brought the Queensland sunshine on her back. It's certainly been beneficial for Desert Lightning. Had an outstanding preparation in Queensland. Placed in the Spear Chief. 4th in a hot edition of a Stradbroke behind a potential star in War Machine. The riding was on the wall with that really good performance to Private Eye in the Lawrence Hutch, and the Lawrence looked the right form this year, as it was last year with Pericles placed in that race before winning the So You Think. second and fourth out of the Lawrence provide us with the 1-2 in the So You Think.
They did that, and it was a tough win, wasn't it, in the end to Desert Lightning, because Moira, you could see Damien Lane got on his bike early enough, probably had a soft enough time, the eventual winner through the first half, and thankfully for favourite backers, but they drew well clear of the rest. It was the right form, and she was close.
Lightning, I think early map readers were licking their lips a long way at it, played out exactly as expected. Glint of Silver leading, Desert Lightning coming across. They went along at an even tempo. He was poised to pounce. The run I really liked in the race was Moira in the Yulong colours, just a little bit keen through those mid-stages as she found her spot. Stayed on well. This is only second up. I suspect this horse might have a decent race in it. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but just stay on the right side of Moira. She's a Group 1 winner in the US.
She was a pretty cheap buy, wasn't she?
Yeah, another one of the mega mares for Yulong, but I think a result here in Australia.
Can she get out to 2,400 of a Caulfield Cup?
I think she might be able to. Yeah, I think she can, and I think she'd be handicapped to be quite effective in that race. Wasn't it great to see Knight's Choice back at the races too in the lime arms there and the pink colours, of course, from Melbourne Cup Day last year. He's not a big horse, Troy. He's sort of compact and a bit like his sire, Extreme Choice. I thought he ran well here for a Melbourne Cup winner, probably heading on that path.
Really solid. And what about the stallion? Like, he's just an absolute freak. Incredible. Extreme Choice. He can do anything. He can absolutely do anything.
And that's Zardozi in the Godolphin colours hitting the line. So is she on track as well, would you say?
Look, she probably is, but has time moved past Zardozi? You know, I think she's had her chance.
She had a really big spring last year.
Won here recently.
Imperatrice, Coolangatta and Wild Ruler winning the race before it was moved to this date last year, and Mornington Glory provided a Group 1 fairy tale for Gavin Bedgegood. There's plenty of variety. It's the geldings versus the fillies and the mares in the 2025 Moya. And you're siding with the mare.
They're zeroing in on Skybird. She won the Lightning first up, last preparation at Group 1 level, and she's now $5.50 each or two with Neons, who's had a nice rally in from $6.50. Alabama Lash, your earlier favourite, from $5 now out to $6, but holding good money. And Escher also were holding good money. Blowouts are number 10, 1 and...
Stands patiently. Set to go, and they're racing, and Rothfire was one of the better ones away, with Escher on the inside and also Golden Boom, and Q-Man isn't too far away with Midwest. Settling down, Escher led Midwest, Alabama Lass right there, then Golden Boom, Q-Man, Barraquil, Arabian Summer in a line. Next is Rothfire, a gap then to Neons. Further back is Sursway Deeper, Skybird. Next on the fence, La Dorada well back, and they were followed by Payline and 2 lengths to Oak Hill. 500 to go. Midwest and Escher together by a length. Alabama Lass, Arabian Summer. They were followed by Golden Boom Deeper, a length and a quarter. Sursway, Q-Man, Barraquil, then Rothfire, Neon, swell back as Skybird the inside. Has a lot to offer though. Then Payline, La Dorada, and also Oak Hill. Escher went to the front. Alabama Lass on the outside, immediately up to it. Arabian Summer back to the fence, and then came Barraquil. Alabama Lass, 100 metres to go, strikes the front. Barraquil bursting through, and Barraquil got the split at 1 from Alabama Lass, and also on the inside, Arabian Summer. They were followed next to finish by Golden Boom and Oak Hill. Next to finish Skybird and Rothfire, followed by Escher. Then came Neon, well back in the field. Q-Man, La Dorada, Sursway and Midwest. Well, for Bennett Racing, they'll go ballistic here, the connections.
A racing fairy tale. Barraquil, there were doubts that he'd ever get to the track. Well, he's got to the valley and made it his own. He is 4 from 4 here now. Nathan Bennett and his syndication business take their owners on yet another odyssey that takes them all the way to Group 1 glory. The McEwen last year was a sign of what could be to come, and the Carline was supposed to be largely the setup act for a tilt at a Manicato. Well, they've got their Group 1 here in the Moya in the most barge and charge fashion, and Ben Allen adds victory in an Oakley plate with Marabi and a Memsey and a multitude of photos. It's likely going to be the mares Arabian Summer and Alabama Lass fighting it out.
So hard to come by, but I don't even know what to say.
You're incredibly hardworking, and success comes to those who work hard. So you deserve this moment, Benny. Go celebrate.
Thank you. Can't wait.
Will Larkin and Troy Corstens join us as Group 1 winning trainers. after Barrack maintains his undefeated record at the Valley and wins the Moya. I'm not sure who to... Amongst all the amazing moments you've had in your training career, the biggest odyssey, the biggest fairy tale in many respects, the biggest achievement?
100%, Nige. It's amazing. And to do it with him, it's very special. Very special.
About the times and the many, I imagine most of them were involving managing expectations that you may never see this guy get to the track.
I think that every time that we go to the races, because you just, with him, he's so fragile, you just never know when it's coming. It's probably going to come, but you just hope that we can hold him together for as long as we can. And loves it here. It's fantastic. So it's a bit loud.
Your third Group 1 win as a trainer, and for your training partner, Will Larkins, his very first.
Yeah, it was outstanding, and you know, the Valley is so special as well. To get Will's first one there was good, and especially with Barrack, he's so special.
There was a lot of love. Going to be a real spectacle. Were you nervous at all as they started to stack up behind the tiring leaders and Barrack was looking for a run? What was going through your mind?
100%. On the corner shark, he just come off the bridle that little bit, and I was sitting there watching. I'm like, oh, are we in a bit of strife here? And as soon as he picked it up, you could just tell he was bursting to get out, and when it opened up, I've honestly never had a bigger grin on my face.
Talk us through this, because we're going to have a chat to Ben Allen as well. It was a really heady ride. We knew it was going to be hot speed, and you had drawn a little awkwardly. Were you feeling fairly confident at this stage?
Yeah, it was good, because we had cover, and the one thing that I do know is that Ben knows this horse inside out and back to front. Had no instructions. So, basically just said, listen, go out, ride the horse, you know him, ride him like the best horse in the race, and that's what he did.
Can you overplay instructions in a 1,000-metre race? You know, they've only got so long to make a call. Is it almost like that in any sprint race? You just say, do your best, you know the horse, trust the horse.
100% Shark. And the thing is, with it's the greatest saying of all time, you know, if a jockey needs instructions, you probably shouldn't be putting them on. So these guys, they're professionals. They know exactly what they're doing. They know the animal, and we get the result like that.
It'll be even more special, I imagine, because of everything this horse has been through. And you've spoken for quite some time about the fact that you think he's the best horse, potentially, that you've ever really had, if he didn't have the injuries. Just tell the viewers out there again, what has he been through and what have you done to actually get him to be a Group 1 winner?
Yeah, he's quite injury prone. He kicked out as a young horse and he got a hole in his hind tendon. So he didn't actually strain it. He actually got a hole in it, and we had to wait for that to repair. So that took forever to repair. And then he's done a suspensory ligament before, which we also had to wait to repair. The rehab that's gone into the horse has been astronomical, but when you've got a horse that's got the ability like that, you know that they're worth it.
So, ironically...
I've said our eye is on the prize and we want to win the Manikato. I might throw into that an Everest as well. Benny, would you be free for an Everest?
Has the phone rung? Because, look, let's be fair, Dinkum. Most think you're running for minor prize money up against a Kaying Rising, but it's still very good prize money.
Yeah, my word, it is. The phone hasn't rung yet, but I expect that a lot of the slot holders would have been watching yesterday, watching the Concord, and everyone thinks that Kaying Rising is a foregone conclusion, but he's still got to get here. And our horse is tough, and he's a warrior. So I wouldn't be afraid to take him on, that's for sure.
The King is back today too, punters. You'll be able to watch him a little later with the Hong Kong races back on racing.com.
Is that everyone saw how unlucky she was, and she was held up essentially for the length of the straight. Does she beat Barrack? Does he dig? Does he find? We'll never know. She would have been right there in the finish. I think Oak Hill was a very good run. I thought Old Rothfire ran a pretty cheeky race as well.
Didn't get much room.
And then you look at others back in the field. Payline hit the line nicely. Whether he's going to be a 1,200-metre horse or a horse better suited at 14, I'm not sure. He's got some form at both distances. Even Neon's. You know, the wide gate probably just put her out of play. She landed in a position where she had cover, but it probably wasn't best suited for her racing style. She was OK, and she'll bounce back at the level.
Sha Tin, the first feature race, if you like, of the new season. And, well, there he is, the champ, making his way out onto the course proper. So Not a betting proposition, fairly inclement weather as well. So they're in the midst of a bit of a typhoon or in the rainy season at the moment too. So there's plenty of wild weather, really extraordinary. But yeah, can't wait to see Ka-Ying Rising. Probably this race, one of the more interesting events that we get to see.
4 and 11.
1, 3, 4 and 11. As you can see, the rain is falling. We've had just under 14 mils of rain here at Sha Tin since 9 a.m. So
place money, Victor the winner. Ka-Ying Rising. They're racing. He was about third or fourth out, Ka-Ying Rising, but Zach is going to speed through the centre and he's in front. Bottom up together a second. Harmony and Blessed wide, co-partner Prance on the rail, and Beauty Waves is in the middle of horses. Then came Victor the winner from Lucky Swain S, Raging Blizzard. They were followed by Lucky With You, and then came Divano and Gorgeous Win and Magic Control, the last trio. Bottom up together's now taken over to lead Ka-Ying Rising, who sits 3/4 to his outside. A length away third, Harmony and Bless from Beauty Wave, sneaking past him on the rail. 1 length away, Victor the winner. Then came co-partner Prance, Lucky Swain S, Raging Blizzard. Next to turn is Gorgeous Win. Bottom up together, 3/4 over Ka-Ying Rising. They've cleared out 3 lengths to Beauty Waves, and then came Lucky Swain S. The rain shaken at the world's best sprinter, and Ka-Ying Rising, he put 2 lengths on bottom up together. Then Lucky Swain S and Beauty Waves, but it's Ka-Ying Rising well clear. It's an easy trek to base camp. Now to climb Everest. Ka-Ying Rising beat home Lucky Swain S, Divano and Gorgeous Win. Then came bottom up together, co-partner Prance, Raging Blizzard, Beauty Waves, Victor the winner, Harmony and Blessed, Magic Control and Lucky With You. 1 and 1. Ka-Ying Rising, Zach Purton and David Hayes. He's down. He's done it easily. Lucky Swain S, really good run from him at 2.9. He took ground off by 2 1/4 in 107.63.
Thank you, Mark. The course record is 107.20, so he's only just over 4/10 outside the course record here on a good track here this afternoon, and he's won it throttled down by 2. The Everest.
Great return to the track for Ka-Ying Rising, who was far too good in his seasonal return, and he'll head BZ towards the Everest, and he did everything you'd like to see.
Scary, if that's correct, 0.4 outside the track record.
Yeah, he's down, so...
He's drawn a good barrier, so Rachel give him a nice ride.
Yeah, no doubting that. A full brother to Artorias is 60s. As we check in with Ali Mosley for a market update here for our first black type event, the Ming Dynasty.
And very popular is Autumn Boy Here M resuming off a Queensland Carnival and a break. 2 trials have been impressive. He has 60% of the money here. He opened 350, now into 270. So he's been very popular in what is otherwise a really...
And they're racing. There's a good line out. Crown the King and 60s the first 2 into stride, and 60s will hold the front. Powerhouse in third, followed then by Barbarossa moving up on the outside of the favourite Autumn Boy. So the favourite not too far from them in the early stages. Then we've got a line of 4 Without Peer, Tom Vegas, Providence going into that first turn, and Flying Orchid in the middle of the ruck. It's 60s, rocking and rolling at the 800 from Crown the King. Barbarossa goes to third. A neck back on the inside, Powerhouse creeping closer. 2 further back to the favourite Autumn Boy. Very well positioned in the run by Jason Collard. Clear from Tom Vegas. Then came Without Peer, being ridden up Flying Orchid from Providence and Giovanni. Grand Prairie and Federalist give away big starts as they turn. 60s in front by 2 on Crown the King. Barbarossa, Autumn Boy winding up on the outside. Then Powerhouse on the rails. Further back to Without Peer. 60s going great guns inside the 200 metres. 60s is roaring along. The favourite Autumn Boy is trying to knuckle down. It's 4 lengths away. But 60s with a real sniff of victory. Autumn Boy's coming with a big rush late. 60s clinging on. 60s won the Ming Dynasty. A half length to Autumn Boy. A gap back to Without Peer third, followed by Barbarossa, Powerhouse, Grand Prairie very late. Further back to Flying Orchid, San Giovanni from Providence, Crown the King, and Federalist never really got into it.
That the fitness on their side is going to be very, very much beneficial, and it was today. But the flashing light, the horse we all want to talk about, was the second horse in Autumn Boy. What a finish.
Yeah.
there'll be plenty of winners coming out of this. Maybe not the winner itself, 60s, take nothing away from it, but, gee, it was no disadvantage to be up on speed yesterday at Rose Hill. I'm in love with Autumn Boy. He's my Guineas horse if he comes down here. Lucy, he just oozes class.
Yeah, he was exceptional, and you know, you have to note that he carried, I think, 3.5 kilos more than the winner to find the line the way he did. And as you said, he's a spectacular physical. He just is ticking all the boxes, isn't he?
He certainly is. There's a bit of a trait too. You watch Autumn Boy, you watch Autumn Glow, you watch Progeny of the Autumn Sun. They travel really smoothly into their races and they let down almost effortlessly. It was a great return from Autumn Boy. Back in the field, there are a couple...
Ali Mosley for a market update here for the Scirocco.
Well, and we've actually had a new market where our favourite Jolie Star came out. 30 cents the deduction for her. There's still been a big go for Gangster Granny, virtually one-way traffic, over 65% of the money. She opened $3.60. She's now at $1.80 and she continues to firm. Lilac on the second. Amina is at that $7.50 quote as well, just out from $6.50. Manal $8.50 to $10. You'll notice.
Stakes. Racing now, and the favourite Gangster Granny jumped really well. Spicy Martini, Lilac are right there. Together with Manal, they all want to go forward and try and lead here. Amina drops back, followed by Samana, and a gap to Dark Glitter and Steffi Magnetica, the dual Group 1 winning mare, will have to settle last of all. Lilac really used the inside barrier to hold out Spicy Martini, and Gangster Granny couldn't get a spot in. So the odds-on favourite is out wide, going to third, followed by Amina on the inside of Manala. Further back to Samana over Racing on the outside of Dark Glitter. A length and a half to Steffi Magnetica. So Lilac after the sharp start, a narrow leader from Spicy Martini. Gangster Granny has to cover the ground today, followed by Amina. And then came Manala as they straighten up. And on the inside, it's Lilac being challenged now by Gangster Granny. Tyler Schiller pulls the trigger at the 300 metres. Gangster Granny got a length clear. Manal's into the clear. Steffi Magnetic at the outside and Dark Glitter going through the middle. It's Gangster Granny under siege. Gangster Granny being tackled by Manal on the outside and Dark Glitter late. Manal's got the momentum up though, and Manal won the Scirocco Stakes, beating Dark Glitter, and Gangster Granny, after being 3 wide the trip, finished third. Steffi Magnetica, Amina in a photo for fourth, followed in by Spicy Martini, then Samana, and Lilac got pretty tired.
She's back in the winner's stall once again. Manal, a great ride from Jason Collett. He was patient throughout. A lot of
the double, including Denman, Hallowed Crown, Exorcia, Astern and Bivouac. So a good Godolphin theme
race. There's been good support for the first 4 in the market and a good go as well for Tempted, who we saw up on the toe. She can do that. She did that as well last preparation. So it can be in her to be a bit buzzy in the yard. Raging Force, our easing 380 favourite now, out from 320. Tempted has been relatively solid there. North England at 17, Rivellino 26, Press Star 41.
Here is the 2025 Run to the Rose.
1,200 metres. Racing now, and Raging Force given a real dig up out of the gate. So did North England, wide out looking to get over. Bit of speed though. Skyhook's using the good draw. So's Press Start and Bivark there as well. Tempted jumped okay, but Ethan Brown just lets things settle out in front of him. Clear from Rivellino, then State Visit. Wotan gets back from Nepotism, Hidden Achievement, and King of Pop ridden quietly last. Raging Force shooting for 5 in a row. Has the lead all on his own. 2 lengths clear from Bivark. Then Press Star third, the rails, a length and a half North England. Skyhook the inner. 2 off 2, Tempted from Rivellino, State Visit. Wotan trying to improve its position as they come around the turn. Raging Force in front of Bivark, the length between the pair. Then Press Star from North England. Tempted gets her chance, and then Skyhook being roused along on the inside. Raging Force being tackled and headed by Bivark, and Bivark put the head in front from Raging Force, who's fighting on Dowley. 2 lengths away to Tempted. Here comes the filly. She's starting to knuckle down, and Tempted went straight on by, and Tempted roars away. It's another Godolphin success in the Run to the Rose. Tempted beat Bivark by 2 lengths. Skyhook got up for third. Wotan fourth. Further back to State Visit from Rivellino, Press Star, Raging Force, then North England, King of Pop, Hidden Achievement, and Nepotism always towards the rear.
I tell you what, that is an achievement for Godolphin. Another winner in the Run to the Rose. They have now won the last 5 editions of the Run to the Rose. Tempted was
Sydney now, and Sharky mentioned My Gladiola and the 3-year-old fillies. They're the best ones in Melbourne. Is this just the best one, full stop? Tempted. Kieran Maher, good to see Ethan Brown going up there and riding a couple of winners. He said post-race, I spoke to Ethan and said, you're going to enjoy this one, old boy. He knew what was coming. Look at that turn of foot for Tempted.
And did it off one trial. You know, and a little jump out at Bong Bong. And that's what she's done to them there first up. Opened the field up, brilliant turn of foot. I think she's the premier 3-year-old sprinter. They're talking Everest.
Would you go to an Everest? Godolphin's got a slot.
You've got a slot, yes, and I get it. She's a Godolphin-owned horse. I understand that. But Ka Ying Rising, older sprinters, she's very good, but does that take the jam out of the donut for a Coolmore where you could go against an average group of 3-year-old males, Lucy, and if you're the sharpest sprinting filly, you've got that Group 1 on a plate.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's a good problem to have, but I think you have to. The ownership group are probably deciding: are they wanting to add to the fillies page, which you would obviously go to the Coolmore, or are you looking for a sort of a profit? And in that case, you go to the Everest. I think the Everest now, everyone accepts that it's a top race, and it would still add to the fillies page. But I think, yeah,
you can't win the Everest this year.
Winning a Coolmore. Well, Giga Kick, did he win it as a 3-year-old?
He did. No fillies won it, but there was no Ka Ying Rising.
Yeah, that's
Giga
true.
Kick's year, was there?
You might just show up in Sydney today, Autumn Glow. What is she? What could she be? She's chasing a 6th straight win. She's undefeated heading towards an Epsom. If she wins that today, this Theo Marks coming up. And with 50 to go, it was an effortless watch. So what a rise she's had from a 72 to a is the girl that they have to beat. She's the 4-year-old mare who's unbeaten today. Kira Makybe taking the ride today.
Our best backed runner on the card comes up here, Autumn Glow, with 75% of the money, $1.35 favourite as expected. She's short and warranted. She opened $1.80, so she has been very well found here. Best across the card, one of the best backed runners anywhere. In fact, Pier on the second line, 8 into 650. General Salute is at 750 after opening 11s.
Darren Flindell.
We're ready. They're racing, and Autumn Glow's jumped out really well. She's jumped out very well and is the initial leader, but there's some pressure early. Espionage and General Salute put up on the speed. El Costello bounced well, just eases back from straight A. So then Pierre, Democracy Manifest firing up on the outside of NCAP, and Feminila is back last of all, showing great speed. Espionage and races to a 2-length lead. General Salute does the chasing, and Autumn Glow parks in 3rd position, a couple off the lead. 2 for the back to El Costello from straight Ace at Pierre. Democracy Manifest is firing up going forward from Feminila, and last year's winner NCAP sees them all. So the long shot Espionage, a 2-length leader on the bend. General Salute's got a length in front of the favourite Autumn Glow, just being niggled a little bit by Makybe and starting to pick up the bridle as they turn. Espionage at the 400, soon to be joined by Autumn Glow. General Salute between runners running a big race. Clear then from Pierre running on. Autumn Glow's given the cue now, and the mare starting to open up. Autumn Glow raced a length and a half clear from General Salute, and Pierre's running on, but Autumn Glow protecting her unbeaten record, and this magic mare makes it 6 out of 6. Autumn Glow, a big win in the Theo Marks. General Salute held down second all the way down the straight, and Pierre finished third, followed by Espionage and El Costello. A gap to NCAP from Feminila. Then straight Ace. Democracy Manifest was too keen and finished last of all.
She is a special mare. John Massara hugging family and friends as to what they've got on their hands. Her undefeated record stays intact. She's 6 from 6. She didn't lead. She posied on the of Autumn Glow, Katie. What a mare.
Yeah, she's special, isn't she? She's got this beautiful, economical stride on her, Lizzie, and just the way that she covers the ground, she sort of looks like a panther, doesn't she? She goes so fast and so efficient, and she...
Horse in Australia. Now, I know she hasn't won a Group 1. She hasn't even run in a Group 1. But how exciting is she? 6 from 6, and the ease of the way that she wins. What does Chris Waller do? Because you could take her anywhere.
Well, you go to an Epsom. I think it's a lock-stock plan for that. They've kept her in a grade where she's going to win races and get herself fit for a race like the Epsom. Now it's a question of the handicap. So they come out this week, we understand. What weight do you reckon? 55, 55 and a half?
Winks carried 57 when she won.
She was a Group 1 winner.
She'd won the Oaks and been placed in a Group 1, and it wasn't a great Epsom that she won.
No. I would have thought she falls in around that 55, 55 and a half mark, in which case she's your horse for the Epsom. I can't see them turning the tables on what she's done so far this prep, going into a handicap against essentially the similar group of horses.
Yeah, she couldn't have done any more yesterday. She put the writing on the wall. I thought Pia ran really well.
Really? Yes.
I thought older horse, obviously too short of his best distance. I think he's definitely one to watch for the rest of his preparation.
Well, just getting back out in the market now, but it is the two Yulong runners who dominate proceedings here for the 3-year-olds. Tycoon Star, there was a lot of smart money for it early on, $2.35 now, it's your favourite. Devil Knight got into $4.20, but back out to $4.60. McGaw's now had the run under the belt. This is the really interesting runner, Legacy Bound, undefeated. We last saw it in Adelaide in the Breeders' Stakes. It's been $3.40 out to $5 though, so no luck.
Ready at the 1100 metres and away they go. McGaw in the middle jumped away evenly, and out wide Devil Knight began pretty well with Cannyworth. It's not held to skelter in the first 150. Legacy Bound is going to drive through and take it up from Cannyworth, who's fighting the jockey, and Shining Smile wider. Then came McGaw, Devil Knight, Tycoon Star out wider, and then Baduri, and at the tail of the field Navy Pilot. Eventually Shining Smile, 650 metres to go, blazing the trail up the middle of the course, led by a length and a quarter McGaw, who's still reefing, and they were followed by Legacy Bound. Cannyworth is next, followed by Baduri and also Devil Knight. Out deeper on the track is Tycoon Star and Navy Pilot. It's going to be a real dash, the final 350, where it's Shining Smile held together by a length, Legacy Bound. They were followed by Tycoon Star, shown its head on the outside. It's coming on, and then Navy Pilot out past the middle of the course. Shining Smile at the 150, grabbed by Tycoon Star, kicking Legacy Bound, and Navy Pilot. Legacy Bound just in front, and that's close. Legacy Bound or Navy Pilot a photo. They were followed by Tycoon Star and Shining Smile. Further back McGaw in company with Devil Knight, Baduri, and last Cannyworth.
Oh, very, very close finish in the end. Navy Pilot charging down the outside, and you could see Legacy Bound, who had hit the front, but it was the big strides of this horse, Navy Pilot, who I think may have got his nose down. Let's have a look at this slow-mo.
Oh, I think the outside, Lizzie.
So close, so close. Legacy Bound has got up. What a performance. Geez, it looked as though, but he's a very nice colt.
He's really promising, and I do think that he got a little bit lost up the straight too.
So there were plenty of horses to keep an eye on. Legacy Bound, although not super visually impressive, he didn't put a margin on them. I think he did more than enough. First time down the straight, nothing to his inside. I think it was a really solid win, and it augurs well for him coming back and having a look around in a Danehill. Horses like McGaw, I think it's probably a case of
Well, he just doesn't know what he's doing.
In him. Well, he's too keen in his racing, and that's bringing him unstuck at the moment. Tycoon Star was very genuine. Shining Smile, very genuine. The other problem child here is Devil Knight. What do we make of his run?
Disappointing.
He was flat. I know they're saying that he maybe is looking for more ground, but that's, you could forgive him his first up run. I'm not so forgiving of that run. I would have liked to have seen a Blue Diamond winner hit the line a bit better than that, Lucy.
Yeah, for sure.
Lizzie, an Arkansas kid, he was put up a $4.80 favourite with Sportsbet, but the price has just continued to tumble because he's now into $3.30, and that, yeah, like I said, that price is continuing to drop. Royal Insignia, $5 into $4.60, sort of hovering around that quote, being pretty solid, although he's the best backed runner in this race. Star Patrol, fascinating runner returning for Clinton McDonald, $7.50 into $7. Airman.
And they're set for the Bobby Lewis. Set to go, and they're racing. Royal Insignia from barrier number 3 away evenly. Corniche out past the middle, began fast with also Give Me the Beat Boys. Star Patrol isn't too far away, and over on the far side Media World is showing lick also. Media World led Star Patrol, Corniche and Give Me the Beat Boys. Arkansas Kid behind those in the white cap. They were followed by Party, and then came Airman wider with Bandy's Boy between horses in Shuto. Well back Royal Insignia, Tuvalu last of the group. Star
Star Patrol as they reach the 700 metres, and Media World. A length and a quarter, Give Me the Beat Boys, Corniche. And then came Arkansas Kid, Airman Party. Next in the field is Bandy's Boy, and then came Ensuto. Royal Insignia is coiled up over on the inside, and Tuvalu is last at the 400. So it's Media World and Star Patrol in front by a length. Arkansas Kid, who's angling back to the inside. Further back, Give Me the Beat Boys, who battles on. And then came Airman the outside. It's Media World at the clock tower, joined by Arkansas Kid. Up on the inside, glides through, takes a length lead. Then came Star Patrol on the outside, but Arkansas Kid is going to hold on and win it again. Arkansas Kid from Star Patrol third. Royal Insignia, Prominent, Media World and Airman there also. Then came Give Me the Beat Boys to Party, and Shuto, Corniche, Bandy's Boy and Tuvalu.
You were spot on, Katie. It was a target race for this guy. Back to back he goes in the Bobby Lewis Stakes. Grace Ramage there next to her husband, Ben Hayes. Very, very happy with that performance, and very, very fitting to see Star Patrol also chasing him down. He was able to win this race 2 years ago. He's since had a wind operation, and tick, it's absolutely worked.
Yeah, he's an absolute beauty.
Kid. He was a horse he wanted to be on a long way out in the Bobby Lewis. Here, Lucy, just in behind, smoking the pipe.
Yeah, beautiful ride. He knows this horse so well. He's very invested, sort of, in the camp and with this older horse. But the way he found the line, yeah, 10 out of 10 from me.
He has partnered with the horse a lot of the time, and whether it's Blake or other jockeys that you know, they have that connection, and they don't have to be superstars. You know, Arkansas Kid is a really rock-solid sort of Group 2 class sprinter, and he finds these races and he'll win 2 or 3 of them a year. They have that connection, they get on well. Does it mean a little bit when they've got them on the dance card for the day? Does he look at Arkansas and go, oh, old mate, I love him?
Yeah, I think so. And he obviously, you know, you go into the races every couple of weeks, so you become friends with the ownership group, and he's obviously a
winning machine, isn't he? Loved his will to win there. Last start, second up. He gets up to the 2,500 metres here for the first time, and he's now into $2.90. Best backed in the race, although there is a good spread of money here. Mormona, sharp money for it, $9.50 into $6.50. Jenny Vermoose has also been on a winning run, $6.50 out.
Maddie Hill.
They're racing at the 2,500 metres and beginning well. Momona with Bird Dubai, Muktamil, and there's Sayadati Sadati from out wide. At the judge, Sayadati Sadati is going to saunter across and lead from Antrim Coast, Momona, Bird Dubai, and then came Muktamil, a length and a half, Revelare, who relaxes the outside of 2 lengths to Bird Dubai at the 1,000 marker, followed by Momona. Next is Tara Mansour, Muktamil, and then came Revelare, who's about to make a move as they reach the 800 marker. On the Mona around the outside got going and chopped Bird Dubai out. Tara Mansour behind them. Revelare brought to the middle of the course, and then Muktamil. Sayadati Sadati tried to sprint at the 300 metres. A length in front of Mormona. Revelare under hands and heels comes on. Then Tara Mansour, and back behind them Bird Dubai. It's Revelare up to Mormona at the 150. Revelare draws a neck in front of Mormona. Revelare just in front and books a spot on the first Tuesday in November. Revelare beat Momona, Sayadati Sadati. They were followed by Jenny Vermoose, Tara Mansour and Post Impressionist in a line. Bird Dubai next, Muktamil. Jabberwocky's Euphoric News.
Great scenes here at Flemington this afternoon. Revelare getting the job done in easy fashion. You just knew that he was going to be able to gobble those leaders up. Sayadati Sadati was brilliant up on speed, but it was always Revelare in his shadow, just creeping, and he's got the job done.
What a sweet ride it was.
And have we seen a genuine Melbourne Cup contender? I love this big boy, Revelare. He just floats into the race, Sharky. Why can't he be an Aussie-bred, genuine Melbourne Cup contender?
Oh, he can be, and it's fantastic that he's a horse with so much more to offer. Going into the race now with a spot in the race, still on the up. We don't know his ceiling. That's what's so exciting about him. Look at him there through the line. He just gets to the front, half sort of floats, half switches off. There's more. You feel like there's more to come. He did only beat Mormona by half a length, but he is going the right way. He's improving all the time, and that's what I love about this horse. And I must admit, I didn't have $1 on him.
Honour of this mighty mare, Makybe Diva. She was the one who brought people to the track. She encapsulated everything.
Via Sistina in.
Smilers in Australia are taking their place. Tom Kitten, Eliana, Via Sistina, Mr. Brightside, 9-time Group 1 winner, and Tino, the Queenslander, and not forgetting...
It's Via Sistina, the champ at the top of the market. She's been really solid as well, $1.90, $1.80, into $1.75, now back to $1.80. The late money coming for the one, Mr. Brightside, who's been $5 into $4.80, and Eliana, we put up $3.90, got out to $6, now is just firming back into $4.80.
To be a dash home in the Makybe Diva. Mr. Brightside, who's won the previous two, comes around the corner at the 500 metres. Via Sistina up the middle of the course, dash to the line. 300 to go, and Mr. Brightside's 2 lengths in front of Eliana Via Sistina, and Tino, the widest, is winding up. Still Mr. Brightside with 150 metres to go. A good buffer. Mr. Brightside is 2 lengths in front. It's going to be a famous hat trick. 3 Makybe Divas for Mr. Brightside. Second Eliana, third Via Sistina, fourth Antino, Mark Twain, Tom Kitten at the back.
Wowee, Mr. Brightside, 3 Makybe Divas. That was a masterful ride from Craig Williams. This mounting yard is absolutely erupting, and so they should. And so they should. He's a remarkable horse, 10 Group 1 victories, 3 Makybe Divas, and trained by 3 young men who are following in the footsteps of their grandfather and father.
Isn't he?
Mr. B is Mr. Marvellous. He becomes the first 3-time winner of the Makybe Diva Stakes. He's 10th Group 1. This ownership group who've been on 1, 6, 5, 3. A lot to unpack, but Craig Williams controls things every inch of the 1,600 metres to make history, Hutch.
What a horse, what a performance. Put the writing on the wall, that great...
The excitement doesn't get to young Grace, but take a look at that prize money. It's just extraordinary. You look at Winks, I mean, 25 Group 1s, Bella Nipotina and Everest ate her cause. The same with Nature Strip. But Mr. Brightside, he's done it by winning 10 Group 1s, 3 of them right here in the Makybe.
Biggest discussion was the jockeys in the Makybe Diva Stakes, how they rode the race, and of course, Mr. Brightside, who...
He must have been giggling mid-race with what he was getting away with. Now, should James McDonald have been more aggressive? Mark Twain bought that unstuck. When he got a little bit keen early and he surged up on the inside, James isn't going to barbecue Via Sistina just to try and get in a race with Mark Twain.
I'm keen. Just as winding up, still Mr. Brightside with 150 metres to go. A good buffer. Mr. Brightside is 2 lengths in front. It's going to be a famous hat trick. 3 Makybe Divas for Mr. Brightside. Second Eliana, third Via Sistina, fourth Antino.
What a star he is. And again, Craig Williams, he had the race run to suit. I know there'll be maybe a few jockeys waking up. Lucy, you know one very well, Blake Shin. I think a lot of people were waiting for Blake to make that mid-race move that we've been accustomed to in Antino's career. And maybe
with him about it, but he just said to me after, when we got home, that he rode the horse exactly how he planned to and how he wanted to. And as he said to me, the horse just felt the pinch the last 200, so when I was talking to Tony later in the day, he said even if Blake had put his foot down, he probably just sets the race up for somebody else and the horse still doesn't win and then it has a gut buster. So I think they were very, very happy with the horse and the sectionals of the race were very good. And I think you know, Mr. Brightside's a champion. I think Australians have tall poppy syndrome and they love to knock him down because he's a plain brown old gelding, but he's tough as, and, you know, look what he did.
There's
yesterday.
nothing period of time. We noticed on that head-on shot there, Michael, Via Sistina just laying out a little bit. Now, she also laid out a little bit around the corner. So a little bit crabby around those corners there yesterday. Maybe it's just early in the preparation, but it'll be something to watch next start if she comes back for the Turnbull, how she handles things.
there is a bit of Jock Data Nerd has put this up. 30 below standard to the 800-metre mark. There was no way they could beat Mr. Brightside the way the race was won. A bit of fallout from the jockeys too. Damien.
Chris Waller and James McDonald in the last, but they team up again here with the favourite in the Let's Elope with Lazura, who returned with an impressive victory there last start. Has been really well backed. All of the sharp money has been for it. $3.40 into $2.25, just continues to firm up. On display, been firm on the second line after initially drifting, so $4.40 out to that price of $5.50 now. Oh Too Good's a fascinating runner returning. $7 there on the third line. A bounding a little unlucky last start for Rob Heathcote. $8.50 out to $10, $11. But it's Lazura, who's a firming $2.25 favourite here in the Let's Elope Stakes.
Here's a set. And they're away. Missing the kick, a length and a quarter. Terra Star and Marble Arch goes back to the end. Bossy Bonita fired out and goes straight to the lead. Followed by Jenny the Fox and also Lazura right up there. And then came O2 Good, who's 3 wide. Makybe the rails, a length Marble Arch beyond centre field with Splashback, Terra Star and Like a Lucy. Behind them on display, Road to Arataki. Lazura's trying to shoulder into the clear, and then Makybe, a bounding out deeper from O2 Good. And then came Jenny the Fox. It's Bossy Bonita with Miss Aria as they reach the 300. Now Lazura produced up the middle, on display back to the inside. A bounding comes on. It's Lazura. 150 metres to go. Extends a length in front of bounding O2 Good, trying to pick her up. Lazura. Now O2 Good trying to pick up Lazura. It got tight. Lazura just won. Lazura from O2 Good, and squeezing through between them was a bounding. Didn't have a clear shot. Splash back behind them with Like a Lucy. Then Jenny the Fox, Miss Aria on display. Makybe, Marble Arch, Terra Star, Bossy Bonita, and Road to Arataki.
Lazura gets the job done. A good performance there. She made a little bit of a hard work of it in the concluding stages. We thought that O2 Good was actually going to be able to run over the top of her, but she toughed it out in the end. A bounding was good in defeat as well. Oh, on display, no luck whatsoever. There's a lot of groans around this course because she looked as though she was going to work into it. And this is the point in time where the door closes and On Display has nowhere to go, but Lazura is full of running.
Yeah, look, she was put into a beautiful spot by James McDonald, and I just love her tenacity. She looks like she was going to get beaten here, and she just, off the canvas, does what she has to do.
You're on display like me, behind the leaders here. Just look away now.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, the horse, it gets close, the head on. There's not contact. It's almost like the horse goes back to the inside, overreacts to the rails, stumbles, trips over her own feet to a degree. Bossy Bonita's just in a bad spot for On Display backers, and she's good through the line. But take nothing away from Lazura, who you're going to pick up the On Display incident here.
Just have a look at this. Now, so Benny Mellum's on display, has a little look up the inside. Bossy Bonita, Craig Williams. Now he's like, oh, there's half a run there, there's half... Oh, no, it's too tight. It's too tight. We're not going in there.
Yeah,
now, you know, punters blow up, but look at that. That's too treacherous a path to be going. And there was not much else. And don't worry, I was on it. There was not much...
Disappointed for a week until this horse goes and runs again. She didn't get the run. Follow her, stick with her. She's still got a good race in her. Like a Lucy from the back of the field. Did you see that horse motoring and picking up?
Yes.
A bounding was great, confirming the Cochrane form we think is going to be strong. Lazura comes down from Sydney and sticks her head out at the right time.
There was another one.
O2 Good.
Yeah, what a good run that was for Kevin Daffy.
Good group of mares, competitive group of mares going towards an Empire Rose. Like this demographic this spring.
You've missed one here. See another of the internationals put its hand up overnight, Sharky. This is Scandinavia winning the St Ledger, a 9th St Ledger for Aidan O'Brien, his 3rd in a row, and they said it would never happen. They said he would never come back, but are you telling me there's a chance that Scandinavia, in the orange and blue colours, could be back for a Melbourne Cup?
Look at how this horse digs in. He's challenged twice. The horse on his outside looms up to go past. He says, no, thank you. Then switches back the inside. Jock just points him back to the inside as that horse makes ground along the rails. And again, he digs and finds, and he's holding them through the line. An out-and-out stayer. Jan Bruegel-esque, perhaps?
Well, he won the race last year. He then failed the vet test. Now, we know Aidan's not too happy about that, but he said, last line of this statement, he's in the Melbourne Cup. It's a possibility. He'll have to go and get scanned and see whether he is eligible to run or not. But there is a good chance the lads might want to go down under.
Well, see what the lads want to do, but we'd love to see the horse here.
He's about 2nd favourite now. Would they be better than a Revelaro? Of this statement, he's in the Melbourne Cup. It's a possibility. He'll have to go and get scanned and see whether he is eligible to run or not. But there is a good chance the lads might want to go down under.
Well, see what the lads want to do, but we'd love to see the horse here.
He's about 2nd favourite now. Would they be better than a Revelaro?